memorial, but the Student Association has voted to reject any memorial. Freshman Aiden Duenas says for some students, it's a political issue. For others, it's about trauma.
I've known people that don't even want to go in the courtyard because that's where everything happened.
Student Matthew Graves wants a memorial.
While it was traumatic, I think there should be something in place so that we remember what happened.
Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Art collectors have a chance to buy one of the world's most lucrative latrines, a solid gold, fully functional toilet. The piece is going up for auction this evening at Sotheby's in New York. The starting bid, about $10 million. The work is by an Italian artist known for taping a banana to a wall. The toilet is currently owned by an unnamed collector. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The local district and statewide news is being brought to you by the Health Insurance Store in Connellsville. The Medicare open enrollment season runs from October 15th through December 7th. Make sure you have the right plan for 2026. Call the Health Insurance Store 724-603-3403 today. And now to the news.
And good evening on this Tuesday, 41 outside of our Davis & Davis studios in downtown Uniontown with some rain. Davis & Davis attorneys at law voted Fayette County's best law firm 2025, 505 on a Tuesday. Your local station, WMBS 590 and 101.1. The Weather Watch and sports on the way. The Fayette County Commissioners met today to set their agenda for November, which will be voted on at their regular monthly business meeting Thursday at 10 a.m. WMBS will be there. And today, during the board's agenda-setting meeting, Fayette County Commissioners Scott Dunn, Vince Facides, and Harry Kaufman. So they want to introduce and will introduce the Fayette County Education Authorities. They try to be proactive, they say, with Penn State Fayette. The Epperly campus shut to close in the region in spring of 2027. They say the authorities' main goal will be to address the shutdown of Penn State Fayette, the Epperly campus, and to research ways for them to have a collegiate presence at the local site moving forward. The new authority, they say, will be working with the Epperly Foundation and looking to keep a college presence in Fayette County. Again, the meeting will be at the Gallatin Bank building in Uniontown on Main Street Thursday at 10 a.m. WMBS will be there. They're also expected to take action on a proposed 2026 spending plan and also address some improvements and some changes to the Fayette County Sheepskin Trail construction project. Pennsylvania residents may soon see water and sewage bills go up. Pennsylvania American Water has reportedly filed a rate increase request with the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. If approved, the typical residential customer would see a $14 increase to their water bill every month and about a $10 increase each month to the wastewater bill. Pennsylvania American Water says the higher rates would support over $1 billion in investments to the water and wastewater service system through the end of 2027. There is proposed new legislation in Harrisburg for electronic bikes. The proposal by State Representative Joe Cooper defines for cities and towns exactly what constitutes an e-bike, which in turn would allow municipalities to create better rules regarding their operations on local streets and sidewalks. Cooper says the proposed law is similar to e-bike laws in 22 other states. She says she hopes the legislation will be taken up in the near future in the state capitol. And more than 100 people rallied in Harrisburg yesterday inside the state capitol rotunda, demanding a ban on gifts and outside employment for state lawmakers protesting what they call legislators' unchecked private interests. Activists with March on Harrisburg delivered speeches criticizing Pennsylvania's lax campaign finance laws. And all Capitol Police arrested nearly 20 protesters, with one officer shoving a couple of demonstrators and grabbed the banners from the marchers as they moved in. Protesters were arrested for blocking access to hallways and trying to enter a senator's office. A heart percentile calculator is designed to help young adults gauge their long-term risk of heart disease.
Cardiologists at Chicago's Northwestern Medicine developed the Heart Percentile Calculator, which they say is a first-of-its-kind tool. It forecasts an adult's 30-year heart disease risk and shows where they rank among peers. The hope is that this device will trigger earlier prevention efforts amid rising diabetes and hypertension rates in young adults. The calculator is free, it's offered online, and is based on American Heart Association prevention guidelines. I'm Sarah Lee Kessler.
Police around Pennsylvania are warning families about the so-called door kick challenge circulating on social media sites like TikTok. That's where kids bang on strangers' doors, sometimes causing damage. What's more concerning, officials say, is the potential for violence. Police say at least one incident of the prank has taken place in the Keystone State, recently in Texas. An 11-year-old boy was shot and killed by a homeowner during a ding-dong ditch prank. Sports and weather next on WMBS.
If you're on a Medicare Advantage plan, HMO or PPO, listen closely. The Medicare annual enrollment period, the 53 days people can review and change plans, is going on now. There are several significant changes to Advantage plans for 2026 you need to be aware of. Plan premiums and medical copays are increasing on almost every plan, while many others will have reduced coverage for dental, vision, and OTC benefits. The biggest concern is the increased cost for brand name drugs in 2026. Those taking a single Tier 3 medication may be forced to pay $600 to $1,400 more for their medications next year. In addition, many people aren't aware that some of their doctors won't be in network in 2026. Don't get blindsided with the changes to your Medicare Advantage plan, HMO or PPO. Reach out to the health insurance store in Connellsville for a no-cost consultation. Call us at 724-603-3403, 603-3403, or visit our website, www.getyourbestplan.com. GetYourBestPlan.com.
In sports, Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin met with the media this afternoon as the Steelers will head to Chicago to take on the Bears Sunday at 1 o'clock on WMBS. On the injury front, Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, has a fracture in his left wrist that doesn't require surgery, and he will wear a brace. His status for Sunday is uncertain. It's 50-50 as to whether it'll be Aaron Rodgers or Mason Rudolph starting at quarterback on Sunday. We'll find out in a few days. Jaylen Warren had an ankle injury. The running back, he was limited and will be limited this week, Tomlin says, but he's optimistic Warren will start. Darius Slay on defense with a concussion is going to return once he clears that protocol. And also on defense, Alex Highsmith with a pec will be limited this week. Steelers and the Bears, 6-4 Steelers, 7-3 Bears in Illinois, Sunday at 1 on WMBS. Penguins are off until Friday after their trip to Sweden as they took 1 out of 2 against Nashville. They'll have a few home games this weekend, Friday and Saturday on WMBS. Pitt basketball with a win against Bucknell last night. They'll be in Orlando taking on Central Florida Thursday night on WMBS. And on Thursday, we'll bring you the Bills-Texans game to kick off Week 12 of the NFL season. And also, the ballot for the 2026 Baseball Hall of Fame is out today. Ryan Braun, Alex Gordon, and Edwin Encarnacion are among the dozen players who are on the ballot for the first time. Other first-timers include Cole Hamels and Hunter Pence. There are 15 holdovers on the ballot, among them Alex Rodriguez, Manny Ramirez, Dustin Pedroia, and Felix Hernandez. The 2026 Baseball Hall of Fame class will be revealed in late January. And now the weather watch for all of southwest Pennsylvania. Right now, clouds and some rain at 41 degrees, went up to 46 today with the overnight low at 37. Cloudy Wednesday at 49, up to 55 on Thursday. Rain back in the afternoon Friday, going up to 57 with the overnight low at 46. For the weekend, showers likely throughout the day Saturday, topping out at 52. Overnight low at 41. Sunny on Sunday, up to 58 and 57 with sun on Monday going into Thanksgiving week. Right now, some rain, 41 at 5:11 on this Tuesday. Good afternoon, I'm Nick Barczyk. The Start Report, then hour one of a 3-hour afternoon drive show with Doug Saltzman on the way next on WMBS. Good evening.
The local district and statewide news has been brought to you by the health insurance store in Connellsville. The Medicare open enrollment season runs from October 15th through December 7th. Make sure you have the right plan for 2026. Call the health insurance store 724-603-3403 today.
Good evening. This is Janine Herron of Janney Montgomery Scott here in Uniontown, bringing you today's closing stock market report. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 498.5 points, closing at 46,092. The Nasdaq Composite was down 275.2 points, closing at 22,433. And the S&P 500 index was down 55.1 points, closing at 6,617. Among companies of local interest, Apple closed at $267.44, down 2 cents. Amazon, $222.55, down 10.32. Cisco, $77.37, down 41 cents. Boeing closed at $189.66, down 2.15. Caterpillar, $546.95, down 5.10. Disney, $106.28, up 59 cents. ExxonMobil closed at $119.03, up $1.35. First Energy, $46.60, up 4 cents. Johnson & Johnson closed at $200.02, up 44 cents. Home Depot, $336.65, down 21.38. Intel, $34.33, down 38 cents. McDonald's closed at $304.61, down 29 cents. Meta Platforms, $597.69, down $4.32. PNC Financial Services closed at $180.10, up $1.06. Raytheon Technologies, $174.69, down 94 cents. Rockwell Automation, $365.98, down $4.12. Tesla, $401.25, down $7.67. Verizon, $41.49, up 48 cents. And Walmart closed at $101.43, down $1.52. Recapping, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down 498.5 points, closing at 46,092. The Nasdaq Composite was down 275.2 points, closing at 22,433. And the S&P 500 index was down 55.1 points, closing at 6,617. From the Uniontown office of Janney Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA NYSE SIPC, where we serve all of your investment needs. This is Janine Harris.
Join the Case Foundation on November 28th at the Uniontown Country Club for a night of glamour as they celebrate a night at the Oscars with all proceeds benefiting area youth sports. Tickets for the formal adult prom are $70 for single tickets or $125 for couples. The gala will feature a live DJ, 50-50 raffle, red carpet with a professional photographer, and more. Get your tickets today by calling 724-434-9061. Don't miss this fun night and opportunity to support local youth sports.
Ready, set, Ford. Thurby's Riverside Ford is pleased to announce the 2025 model year-end sales event going on now. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to upgrade your ride, this is it. For a limited time, get 0% APR for 60 months on some of Ford's most popular models. That's right, Explorer, F-150, Super Duty, Escape, and Transit vans, all with 0% for 60 months, no money down.
Looking for a great lease instead? We've got the deals for you and the inventory too. Lease a new 2025 Ford Bronco Sport Big Bend for $399 per month, or for just $499 per month, lease a new 2025 Ford Explorer Active, F-150, STX, or Bronco Big Bend. Offer valid for 36-month lease with 10,500 miles per year. Ford financing required. Tax and license extra. First payment due at sign.
It's all happening right now, but hurry in. These offers won't last long. Stop in and see Joey, Jimmy, Sammy, or Ashley at Thurby's Riverside Ford, your presidential award-winning dealer located 1 mile past the casino at Nemacolin. Offer ends January 5th, 2026.
They're all coming to your house again for the holidays. Your favorite aunt and uncle from out of town. Friends from across the state. Remember last Thanksgiving when Joe seemed to eat more turkey and stuffing than the chair could support? Remember when the table legs seemed to cry out with all the food weighing it down? Wouldn't it be nice to enjoy a hearty dinner amongst all your family and friends while sitting around a charming dining set from Chesler's Fine Furniture and not having to hold your breath every time someone sits down? Chesler's can make it all possible with a wide variety of graceful and pleasing styles that will offer elegance for your dining area. If you are looking for a formal set, select a two-tone gray and oak set, sale priced at $19.99 with a matching buffet at $12.99. Maybe you just need a small 5-piece set. They are priced starting at $5.99. Chesler's has a large selection of 3, 5, and 7-piece sets ready for immediate delivery. Credit terms and delivery are available. Chesler's Fine Furniture, where customers send their friends. It's a day that ends in Y, so it's a day that you might decide you don't want to cook. That means it's the perfect day to order Fat Angelo's. Offering delicious pizzas, salads, hoagies, strombolis and calzones, wings, and more, and with 12 locations across the area ready to serve you, today is the day to visit FatAngelosPizza.com, where you can quickly and conveniently find your local shop and place your order online, or get the local phone number and give them a call. Order up!
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest, now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
chilly, rainy day out there today, Nicholas. How are you, by the way? It's the afternoon drive show in the local station, WMBS Uniontown.
I'm good. You moved on before I could answer, but it's always good.
Well, I really didn't care.
And even if I'm not good, keep it to yourself.
And Jeff McCausland was just here with us. No, I meant to say, that wasn't even close. Bill Madden was just in the studio with us here.
I'm sure he's honored that you confused him with a colonel.
With Jeff McCausland. He'll be joining us, by the way, in a few minutes. Not Bill, but Jeff. Boy, what a way to start the show.
Boy, you're on fire.
Rainy out there, chilly. It feels like fall.
Yeah, it feels like the week before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, as it should be. No doubt we will be checking in with the Butterball lady next week.
Oh, this is their Super Bowl. This is their Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. So we'll be checking with them. And as we do this time of year, we check in with the post office to see about mailing deadlines, holiday stamps, holiday jobs, Operation Santa, you name it. We will we're checking in with Mark Wall, Strategic Communications Specialist.
Not Mark Wahlberg.
No, not
who's
Mark
a little
Wahlberg.
more famous. No offense to Mr. Wall.
But yeah, if we could get an interview with Wahlberg.
Oh, that'd be great.
Wahlberger. Mark Wahlberger and Donnie Wahlberger.
I would just like a free burger at their restaurant.
Right, Donnie was the one on Blue Bloods.
Dead Air. I was going to jump in with something there.
Blue
Yeah,
Bloods?
Blue Bloods, yes.
Yeah, now he has a new show called Boston Blue.
Yes.
I haven't seen it.
If it has blue in the title, I have not seen it. But they promote it during football games about 18 times.
Yeah,
so CBS really wants you to watch it.
Okay, well then I'll have to make sure I check it out.
That and Matlock and with Kathy Bates.
Oh yeah, Matlock gets a lot of. She does her own promotions. It's sort of
She
funny.
does,
Hey, make
yeah.
sure you tune in.
You can tell the announcers love reading those promos during the game. Jack Buck had a great one. Do we have time for this story? Jack Buck was doing a game back in the day. Might have been a Pirate playoff game. It's online, and he said, "Fly ball to Bonds. He's there. That's how this one starts." And by the way, tonight on CBS, Meredith Baxter Bierney. He didn't know how to say her name, or he didn't care. She's like she's in a new TV movie, whatever it was, and she plays a battered woman. A battered woman. Speaking of batters, here's Barry Larkin. Can you imagine now? I mean, this was like in the '80s, but yeah, Jack Buck was a beauty.
They do promote a lot. And what's amazing, you think back in the day when Myron Cope at times would get criticized for mentioning whether or not the Steelers covered the spread.
Oh, yeah, now
it's literally part of the broadcast.
Constant gambling promos. I know people who only watch sports for gambling, which is kind of sad.
And it doesn't, and obviously they're making a lot of money. They have every big star there is doing
absolutely.
ads for these things.
Yeah, FanDuel and BetMGM. Yeah, John Hamm's in commercials. Kevin Hart.
Two of the gals from Friends. I think they don't come cheap.
No, they do not. No. I mean, you'd think after Friends they would just go live on a beach somewhere. They made enough money doing that.
Well, you do a commercial that, it's funny. You watch these commercials. Oh, it lasts 30 seconds. Probably took 4.5 hours to film.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Edit it, reshoot. Yeah.
So
they're not asking us to be in these ads.
No, they're not. And that is amazing, the amount of gambling. And they're not losing money.
No.
In fact, casinos, there's laws passed to make sure they make money.
Oh, of course. Yeah. Now, people are losing money. They're losing their child's tuition and Christmas gift,
Yeah,
list,
you hear on a series, you hear horrible stories about people leaving their kids in the car as they go into.
Yeah,
because they
despicable.
always think I'm going to win the next time.
That's it. And there's a reason they don't have windows in casinos. They don't want you to know what time it is.
There's no clocks in casinos.
No. And there's also, someone pointed out in Vegas, no mention of Christmas. Around Christmas time, they don't want you to think, I should probably be out buying for my kids right now.
Or
be
being
at
with
home.
my kids right now.
Yeah, there's no mention of Christmas in the casinos at Vegas, which I thought was a good thing to point out.
I didn't know that. I've never been to Vegas. Not really my thing. I mean, I've been to casinos. I remember the original ones.
I had tickets to see Siegfried and Roy the day after the Tiger ate him. Just my luck. Joking, of course. Yeah.
Joking. No, he did get attacked.
He did.
By his own tiger.
No, I'm joking that I had tickets.
You
I
had
was
tickets
like 4
for
at
the
the
next
time.
day.
Yeah.
I remember being at some of the original casinos in Jersey, and then on the riverboat casinos down in off of New Orleans on the Mississippi. And if you can imagine, I mean, how big those boats are that go up and down the rivers here in Pittsburgh. But fill that with casino gambling and all the lights and bells, and it wasn't pleasant.
No, but hey, to each their own. Some people love that stuff.
Oh my gosh, and it provides a lot of jobs.
Oh, absolutely.
And of course, Lady Luck right up on top of the hill.
As Joe Biden would say, I have 2 words for you: jobs, jobs, jobs. I miss Joe. Not that the current president doesn't say stupid stuff either.
Yeah, 2 words: jobs, jobs, jobs.
Yeah. And he also said 2 words "made in America" once, which is just
that's
tremendous.
A good one too.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Oh, Joe.
They all say the crazy.
Oh, they
things.
all say dumb
Ronald
things.
Reagan once introduced a senator named Don Nichols as Don Rickles. Which certainly makes sense considering.
Yeah, that's the least of it. Yeah,
that's the world he came from. So coming up here in just a moment, we're going to check in. We were hoping to interview somebody from CBS about the Jeffrey Epstein files and the vote. Somebody voted against releasing them. The vote was 400 and or whatever to 1. We have to figure out who that 1 is. Yeah, exactly. So we're hoping to start out with that interview, but we're going to talk about the latest on the attacks on the drug boats, and Colonel Jeff McCausland is going to join us here in a moment. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to check in with Mark Wall. He is with the United States Postal Service, as we do around the holidays every year, and we'll be checking back with him as well. Later in the year, right before Christmas. You can actually get stuff delivered on Christmas Day. I saw a postal truck across the street one day. I'm like, really? Somebody's working on, they're delivering stuff the post office on Christmas Day. So we'll be talking to him rather, coming up at the bottom of the hour. But joining us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, CBS News military and national security analyst, Colonel Jeff McCausland. Colonel, thanks for joining us today. This topic getting overshadowed by other things these days in the news, but nonetheless just as important, these attacks by the U.S. military on these alleged drug boats. It's if this has happened before in previous administrations, I don't remember it, but is it unprecedented, and what prompted this, in your opinion?
Well, it is unprecedented, Doug. I don't recall any time that we conducted such operations in doing these type of strikes and killing up to 80 people now or more. In past, obviously, this has been conducted as a matter of law enforcement. The United States Coast Guard has been heavily engaged in the Caribbean for many years, trying to interrupt the flow of illegal narcotics. But again, it was law enforcement. And when I've talked to Coast Guard officers who were involved in those operations, one of them even told me that for every 5 boats they stopped, usually one of them was not carrying narcotics. And that's been a concern because the administration has not presented any real clear evidence that would guarantee that they all were carrying narcotics. Now, were many of them likely doing so? Yeah, probably, without question. But I find it a little surprising that so far we haven't had any real clear evidence, bales of cocaine, if that's what was being delivered, weapons, whether it was money, whether it was cell phones that implicated these people or not. There has been no real evidence presented, simply the statement by the Secretary of Defense that we know what's going on, and these were all full of narcotics. Why did this come about right now? Well, I think really 2 reasons. The reason number 1 is Mr. Trump has determined that we are at war with these particular cartels, and therefore, under his authority as Commander-in-Chief, he can defend the nation by conducting these kind of operations. Legally, the vast majority of people I know who study the law of land warfare do not agree with that particular statement, that you can't just arbitrarily kill people who are really criminals and are not attacking you or not part of a more organized effort to undermine or destroy the nation. Think of Al-Qaeda trying to destroy the United States in many ways, as it did for the bombings that they did back on September 11th, 2001. And in reality, these are, in fact, criminals who are involved in criminal activity. And second of all, the second reason why I think it happens right now is it does appear the administration is shifting the focus of U.S. strategy to a more focus on homeland defense as the primary concern. Don't forget, at the onset of the administration, Mr. Trump talked about taking over Greenland, taking back Panama. He's threatened Canada, make it the 51st state. We're now conducting these operations not only against Venezuela, but also against boats that are coming out of Colombia. And, of course, we're using U.S. military forces in expanded fashion on the border, as well as in American cities against crime, and at least supporting the operations for counter illegal immigration. A greater focus on homeland defense, perhaps capped off by a Golden Dome, this proposal to create a massive missile security shield over the United States. So this would seem to fit in that broader strategy.
Yeah. Generally, there's if we're somehow a civilian is attacked or a boat is simply a pleasure boat out on the, you would hear blowback from another country or perhaps even the UN would take up something like that. I have not seen that happen just yet. Are you surprised there hasn't been more complaints from other countries about these attacks?
Well, no, somewhat, but there has been blowback. I mean, certainly some of the South American countries have said this was illegal. The president of Colombia has said, at least in one case, a Colombian fisherman was actually attacked and killed, and there's reports that his family is trying to seek restitution. We have seen the British now saying they will no longer provide intelligence about operations in the Caribbean, which they had done routinely under the so-called Five Eyes agreement because they think this is illegal activity. We've seen the French foreign minister condemn this. We've seen the Canadians condemn this. Brazilians have been opposed to this. We really have not seen any type of, though most people, I think, around the world would agree with President Maduro being, a legal leader who fixed an election. Well, there's broad agreement in that. We have not seen that translate, at least that I've seen, into massive support for the United States on this operation.
Right. As we talk with retired Army Colonel Jeff McCausland, founder and CEO of Diamond Leadership and Strategy as well. In your experience on strikes like this, it's unprecedented, so I guess we don't have that type of experience, but how long does something like this go? Would there be a point where they said, okay, we've accomplished it, it's mission accomplished? I think drugs coming into the U.S. or being on the high seas is something that may never go away.
Well, that's exactly right, and that comes to the fundamental question, which so far has been not clearly answered. As an old soldier, my number one question, if I was able to talk to Mr. Trump, would be the following: what is the mission? What is the mission? If the mission is counter narcotics, why would you pick on Venezuela? Certainly there's illicit narcotics coming out of Venezuela, but in comparison to other countries in the region, relatively small. Much more cocaine coming out of Colombia. Venezuela really serves more as a transit point for narcotics. And if you're really looking at narcotics that are the most deadly to the American public, well, you look at Mexico, because the vast majority of fentanyl crosses the border from Mexico and the United States, and fentanyl is without question the biggest killer of Americans. But you're also correct, you can't keep these forces on station forever because, of course, this is at sea. We don't enjoy, as we did for the invasion of Iraq or for the invasion of Afghanistan or even the invasion of Panama back in the late 1980s, we don't enjoy an ally in the region which we can stage forces on the ground as we did in Kuwait or as we did in Pakistan or as we did in the Canal Zone. These are all offshore, and you got 15,000 troops, counting sailors, in that area that you can't sustain for an extended period of time. And furthermore, if your goal is counter narcotics, why would you bring the biggest aircraft carrier in the entire world to be involved in trying to sink tiny little boats? It's kind of like bringing a 20-pound sledgehammer to go hunt individual ants. And also it means that you don't have an aircraft carrier operating in the Med, even though the conditions in Gaza remain very fragile, and in the Middle East more broadly, and a war in Ukraine. You don't have a carrier in the European theater at all. And then lastly, because you have no basing place and no allies, it doesn't seem to me that you can maintain that force indefinitely. So in the next month to 6 weeks, I would dare say, you either have got to find a diplomatic off-ramp of this particular crisis, or you move on to the second option, which is some hope that perhaps a few airstrikes would cause Maduro to depart, and then the possibility, of course, of a full-fledged land invasion, which I think would be a pretty difficult proposition, to say the least.
I guess the naval base in the Caribbean, there's been several have been closed over the years, but certainly Guantanamo Bay is still open. A lot of folks forget that's on Cuba, on the island of Cuba.
Yeah. No, you've got bases on the islands, but I'm just saying you don't enjoy a base on land contiguous to the country that you're focused on, like we did in Kuwait, like we did in Pakistan, when you're physically going into Afghanistan. Everything's got to be coming from offshore. It's going to have to be amphibious coming in, and that makes it a much more difficult proposition if you are going to actually conduct a land incursion.
Yeah, and, of course, the Netherlands, too, has bases there, which might surprise a lot of people. I was certainly surprised the one time I was scuba diving in Aruba and got stopped. As I'm like, oh, okay, am I in the wrong spot here?
Well, the other thing I think people overlook in all this, Doug, is there are enormous possibilities for this or options for this with respect to energy. People forget Venezuela has the largest oil reserves on the planet Earth, even more than Saudi Arabia. So the whole question of energy in the future, and Guyana, which is right next door, much smaller, but one of the largest growing oil producers, is Guyana. So how this turns out diplomatically, militarily, how it all turns out has implications not only for counter-narcotics, but also for energy in the future.
Yeah. We've been talking with Colonel Jeff McCausland, the latest on these attacks on alleged drug boats, both in the Pacific and the Caribbean as well. More to come on this one, that's for sure. Colonel, as always, we thank you for your service. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Take care, Doug.
Thank you. Colonel Jeff McCausland joining us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. We come back, we're going to check in with the United States Postal Service. We do our annual check-in with them. We'll be talking sometime in December as well. Mailing deadlines, jobs, you name it. We'll talk to him. Mark Wall is going to be joining us. But first, this is the Afternoon Drive Show on WMBS.
Ready to score big on your next home? Well, great news. Huge savings are waiting for you at Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon. From open floor plans perfect for game day parties to energy-efficient homes that will help you save money all season long, these homes are built to deliver. Don't wait on the sidelines. Make the winning play today and find the home that fits your family and lifestyle. Visit Clayton Homes of Belle Vernon at 4500 Route 51.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. A Best in Fayette winner for tires and automotive service, Tireman's Auto Garage has the cheapest prices in town on new and used tires. They are also top automotive specialists for any car, any repair, offering diagnostic service, alignments, oil changes, state inspections, batteries, brakes and rotors, and more. The holidays are coming. That means cold weather and snow. Be ready. Be safe with new tires from Tireman's Auto Garage, where you'll find the lowest prices in town. Plus, ACIMA and Snap leasing available. If you've been past Tireman's recently, you've seen golf carts on the roof. Tireman's has a variety of 2, 4, and 6-seater golf carts, gas or electric, available for purchase with financing available. Interested in renting a golf cart? Call 724-425-9606 and ask about rentals. Or stop in and see Kim or Joe at Tireman's Auto Garage on Mill Street in Uniontown. Happy holidays from Kim and Joe at Tireman's Auto Garage, a Best in Fayette place for tires and auto service. If you are looking for a trusted local law firm with a strong commitment to their clients, look no further than Zebley Law Offices. Attorney Zebley has been practicing law in Fayette County for more than 4 decades. Although specializing in bankruptcy, Zebley also handles real estate matters, civil suits, collections, wills, powers of attorney, and more. If you need legal help, go with a name you recognize and trust. Call Zebley Law Offices today at 724-439-9200.
CareerLink is your one-stop resource for employment and training-related services. Visit CareerLink and you'll have access to many programs and agencies for assistance with economic, educational, and job-related needs. For more information on all the programs available to you, contact CareerLink at 724-434-JOBS. That's 724-434-JOBS.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
I'm not entirely sure, but this might be the official song of the United States Postal Service.
I think it is, Doug. Rock and roll. That's what they say every morning before they go out on their routes.
It's rock and roll, boys. that went off awfully quick. What
It
happened?
did. I should have brought it back. I don't want to drown you out with your brilliant points.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Why am I buttering you up? You're not my boss. I don't know.
Well,
we do work together.
Yeah, we do work together. Not
Like an
well.
old- no, well, no.
But we do work together. That's for sure. Rock and roll. It was one of those great. They probably said, we don't have a name for this song. What can we call it? And somebody said, how about rock and roll? And they said, oh, there's got to be a song called rock and roll.
Amazingly, there wasn't. And if it was, they just named it that anyway. And also, if there was a section of a Led Zeppelin song they couldn't figure out what to do with, just have Robert Plant scream.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he was the best screamer in rock
we
and
need
roll.
something here. Yeah. Just let Robert scream.
Oh, what a great band. Led Zeppelin, if only. If I could get in a time machine and go see them in their prime.
I never saw them. Yeah. never saw
Wow. You were too young when they came to Three Rivers, probably.
them. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mom wouldn't let you go.
Yeah, exactly. When were they done? They were done in
And
74.
yeah, John Bonham
That's only
died.
about 10 years old.
Of course, like the Beatles, they brought drugs and hedonism to America.
That's right. This is a good country before that Russian
Well, the Russian invasion, the British invasion. That's right.
Some invasion.
Yeah.
Well, we better get to our guest.
He
now
just hung
before
up.
He
He's
hangs
bored
up
out of
on
his
us, as
mind.
we always say. From the United States Postal Service, Strategic Communications Specialist Mark Wall. Mark, thanks for joining us today. Nick and I tend to drone on various topics, as you might guess. But we're pleased to have you here to talk about mail service during the holidays, mailing deadlines, holiday stamps, holiday hiring by the post office, Operation Santa. There's a lot going on this time of year. I can't imagine what it takes to make all this happen for the post office. How are you, Mark?
I'm doing well, and I appreciate that opening. And to segue into the British invasion, let's talk about that for a second, right?
Okay.
So the post office began in 1775. So we've been delivering for 250 years. We've been adapting and continuously adapting to the needs of our customers. So with the transformation and modernization, since the founding of our nation, that British invasion, or who we say kicking the British out, we've been delivering for America.
Yeah. I was at one of my favorite restaurants recently, Cracker Barrel in New Stanton. And right across the street is a very small post office, and there's a historic marker there that talks about rural delivery. How at the time, rural America was just completely disconnected from the rest of the country across the fruited plain. And this idea of rural delivery really connected the country, and the post office is absolutely responsible for that, isn't it?
That's one of the things that we do that we're most proud of. We bind a nation. You know, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a government shutdown, we're not impacted by that. Our employees are the best. They shine year-round, but this is the time of the year that we really take pride in what we do in delivering those smiles. So I was asked a question the other day, how is AI coming into the Postal Service? And we are using it with our logistics, customer feedback. But one thing that AI cannot do, they cannot bring that smile, a genuine smile from the letter carriers, whether it's a city or rural carrier, to your doorstep day in and day out.
Yeah, we know our mailman well, and we have a mailbox right at the house. And over the years, we've had picnics in the backyard, graduation parties. We've invited the mailman, which people say. One day I was driving along and I waved out the window and said, "Hey, Tom, how you doing?" And my buddy said, "How do you know the mailman's name?" I'm like, "Well, don't you know your mailman's name? He's been here for years." But yeah,
that's a great point, because I've been in this organization for 40 years, and I still remember when I was a kid growing up in Pittsburgh, our mailman's name was John the Mailman. And when you heard that clink in the box, you knew you had your mail. And he came twice a day. And if John wasn't on, as kids, you're like, oh, wonder where John the Mailman is. Oh, whatever. We continued playing wiffle ball. But to this day, we might not hear that clink in our mailboxes, but we do have a service that's called Informed Delivery. And if you sign up, it's free. You get alerts to what mail is coming into your house, your packages that are coming and going. And that's a clink that you get in your email every morning. So if you want to see what packages you're sending or receiving them, you can track that on our app. And it's called Informed Delivery. So if you go on our website, USPS.com/Informed Delivery, sign up for free. And it really helps out this time of year, because a lot of times packages get taken. You can get alerted. Maybe contact a neighbor, or know when that package is going to be delivered. You can be ahead of the game.
That's right. You want to fight back against those porch pirates. As I mentioned to you earlier today off the air, as we were putting this interview together, my grandfather, Chris Beidel, worked for the post office for 48 years. And one day on April Fool's Day, our postman dropped off the mail. He said hello to my grandfather. And I said, "Oh, sir, you dropped some mail." And he turned around and I yelled, "April Fool's." And my grandfather said, "No, that's not a good joke, young man." he wasn't pleased with me playing an April Fool's joke on our mailman about dropping mail. I never did it again. Right? I think I was 10 at the time, and I still think about it now. But when you think about the mail gets delivered, and I think if I were to quiz somebody on this, they'd probably be off by literally hundreds of millions. But over 370 million pieces of mail are processed every day by the post office. Every day. And you just can't get a sense of how much that is. My heavens, over 4,000 a second. The numbers are just mind-boggling.
Yeah, I was fortunate to begin my career in the mail processing in the plant. And for those that are just familiar, like you said, with your letter carrier's first name, the window clerks, or even your local postmaster, that's the face of our postal service. But this time of year, I love going in the plants because they're like our elves. They work year-round, and they don't get the recognition they deserve. But today's machine, the speed of them, like even the letter sorting machine, it's called a delivery barcode sorter. They sort 36,000 letters an hour, and it puts it in the carrier's walk sequence. So the carrier doesn't have to sort that mail. The mail gets sent to them right from the plant. They take the mail out to the street, and it's the way they walk their route. So that and the packages, the transformation we've done in the last 4 or 5 years in the modernization. From last year, we were able to process 60 million packages a day. That's nationwide. And because of our modernization and additional machines, we're up to 88 million packages a day. So basically, last year, we processed 44% more mail than our competitors on a daily basis for the holiday season. It's a lot of mail. It's a lot of pieces. And if you take a look at our carriers, they carry postcards, letters, flats, magazines, packages. I call them jugglers. They're professional jugglers on the route. And they have to deliver in the mail, in the weather. They have to deliver with maybe some drivers nowadays that are distracted. So I always like to say, when you see a letter carrier, just thank them because you have no idea what they put up with day in and day out to make sure you get those packages and those letters. That's so important.
Yeah. We always check in with the Postal Service, usually twice, once around Thanksgiving and then a week or so before Christmas. So we'll be giving you a call back in December. But let's talk about the mail deadlines now. Even here we are. If you go to a store these days, they're already playing Christmas carols naturally, and the Christmas decorations are up. Heck, they started going up after Halloween. But this is when people need to start thinking about getting packages in the mail, correct?
You're absolutely right. And let me first start off by thinking of our veterans out there. I'm one of 63,000 we have in our Postal Service. So to me, the military mail-by dates, sometimes we tend to forget and overlook those. But I know in the Uniontown area, we have a large presence of veterans and those active duty and reserve. So the military dates, first class in the priority mail, that has to be in the system by December 9th. Now, if you're sending Priority Mail Express, that's December 16th. That's for APO, FPO overseas. That's for our military. So please, the Veterans Day just last week, this week, let's just think of those veterans. As far as holidays, it's December 25th. What we're asking our customers to do, of course, mail early. But if you have to wait until the last minute, December 17th is the last day for USPS Ground Advantage and First Class Mail Service. And the following day, the 18th, would be if you're using our USPS Priority Mail Service to make sure your piece is delivered before the big day. And if you're a procrastinator, and the ones that are listening, you know who you are, December 20th is the cutoff for Priority Mail Express service. So again, the 17th, the 18th, and the 20th. And right now, we're averaging getting packages across the country anywhere from, let's say, Uniontown to Snowflake, Arizona, to Christmas Cove, Maine, to Santa Claus, Indiana. We're getting there in 3 days or less.
And that just by coincidence, you brought up those three places. That's very, very astute of you to have a place called Snowflake and you name it. But that's part of the fun of the post office this time of year is the stamps and of course there's always the holiday stamps. Folks call them the Christmas stamps, of course, and they're available. But it's always good to get there early, correct? To get those stamps for your Christmas cards and your holiday cards.
That's correct. That's correct. So this year we came out with 4 holiday stamps. So basically what the post office does, every year we come out with a holiday stamp. They're available at the local post office. Now every 2 years we have the Madonna and Child, we have the Kwanzaa, and we have the Hanukkah. They're from last year, but they're still good this year because they're forever stamps. And one important thing about this is think about this for a second. and we get our Christmas decorations out. My wife and I, we still have Christmas cards that our parents had mailed us years ago, and they're no longer with us. So for 78 cents, you can create that memory and get those letters to your loved ones. You have no idea the return of investment you have years later when you pick out that card. You can't do that with text messages, can't do that with emails.
Yeah, it really is. And we have those, and every year when somebody sends us a photo, we save that photo, or in many cases now people get their photos printed into a card, and we save those as well. Holiday hiring. Obviously, the post office hires for the holidays. What is the deadline if folks want to apply for a job, and what would they be applying for?
Well, right now we're doing hirings year round. We're through attrition. We're having new hires, letter carriers, of course, window clerks. We have seasonal hires. It's getting kind of close to that deadline. However, if you go on our website, USPS.com/careers, you can see all the openings that we have in the Western PA district. We have, and it's rolling. It updates every 2 weeks. So again, it's easy, it's seamless. You go on our website, create a profile, and you can get alerts every day, every 2 days, every 3 days when there's openings that pop up, and you can apply for them directly. So we're doing hiring. And here's the other thing, Doug. People don't realize that we have letter carriers, we have clerks, we have over 2,000 different job titles, not positions, job titles. So we have jobs in sales, HR. If you don't like to work outside, work in one of our plants. We have mail handler assistants. We have clerks. It's amazing the opportunities once you become a career employee. So, yes, if anyone has any questions, they can go to www.usps.com/careers and look for those positions.
There's another website I wanted to talk to you about, too, USPS OperationSanta.com. Everybody's heard of Operation Santa. Tell us about that.
You were reading my mind. I'm holding it right here in front of me. So last year, we had over 33,000 letters to Santa throughout the organization. That's last year. Of those gifts delivered, we had almost 27,000 gifts sent to those kids that may not have a nice Christmas like others. And with that, we also have adoption teams. So if you go on that website, USPSOperationCenter.com, you can have all the information. In fact, that opened yesterday, the 17th. If you're going to send a letter, it has to be postmarked by December 6th. And if you are an adopter, you have to have that in the mail by December 16th. So I'm so glad you brought that up, because we're in our 113th year of Operation Santa, and we're still delivering. We partnered with Toys R Us. We make it so easy to go online, ship a package. You don't even have to leave the comfort of your own home to be an adopter this year and get that package off. So OperationSanta.com.
There we go. I guess, is it OperationSanta.com or USPSOperationSanta.com?
I'm sorry, USPSOperationSanta.com. And it's going to make it easy for the listeners now. You address it to Santa, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, and here's the best part. The zip code is very easy to remember. 5 Snowmen, 88888.
123 Elf Road, North Pole, 88888. That's easy enough.
Yep.
Five Santas, and certainly Santa does deserve his own zip code. That's for sure. Don't even need the 9-digit one for Santa, for heaven's sakes. Although I guess if you threw in 4 more 8s, it would get there as well. But don't do that, folks. Do what Mark Walls tells you to do when it comes to sending mails to the official USPS address for Santa. 123 Elf Road, North Pole, and then 5 snowmen in a row. I tend to put 5 snowmen in a row, but that's usually on my golf scorecard. I'm good at putting putting 8s on my golf score. Because we always say that's the max you're going to get on a par 4. Well, we appreciate, Mark, you're taking time. You mentioned that the Post Office has 63,000 veterans working for it, the Postal Service. You're one of them, so we thank you for your service. I mentioned earlier when we were talking, a good friend of mine, Bill, sir, he just retired from the Post Office after serving in the Navy. I'm sorry, in the Air Force. So we appreciate your service and appreciate 250 years of delivering mail. And a lot of it is thanks to a Pennsylvanian, I suppose, when you think about it. The first Postmaster General of the United States, of course, was Benjamin Franklin. And all started right here in PA.
That's correct. And I like to say, if you want to save some Franklins this year, USPS is the most affordable shipper again this season. And an educated customer is our best customer. What I like to tell people is go on our website. If you have a package, you're not sure how to send it, we have flat rate boxes, which is a great deal if you're going to ship something heavy. But if you're not mailing something that heavy, it's best to go on our website or take it to your local post office and say, hey, listen, can you weigh this? Here's what's going to. More often than not, as a working postmaster, I could give our customers the best deal because, again, just letting us know what they're mailing and us providing the best possible customer service we can provide. So I appreciate it, Doug.
Yeah, and of course there's lines at the post office, but don't go at lunchtime if you don't want a line. That's where most people won't be showing up at that time of day. If you're able to, pick those odd hours that people might not be going, and you'll avoid the lines. That's for sure. Hey, Mark, first time we've had you on the show. Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll check back with you in December for those procrastinators out there among us. I'm one of them. And we'll get the latest on that as well. Mark, thanks so much. We appreciate it.
Well, I look forward to it, Doug. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. Have a good one. Mark Wall, Strategic Communications Specialist with the U.S. Postal Service, USPS.com. And don't forget, for all those kids who are listening to the show out there, well, at least their parents and grandparents, the official USPS address for Santa, 123 Elf Road, North Pole, then 5 snowmen in a row, 88888.
How many more years do you think Santa will be doing this? I mean, it's got to be worn out.
Yeah, well, he rests. He takes a week off after Christmas, and then off he goes for the next year.
There you go.
For sure. Let's take a break. We'll wrap up hour number 1. We're with you till 8 o'clock tonight on the What's on Your Mind show. Good heavens, on the Afternoon Drive show. I'm Doug Saltzman. That's Nick. Stick around.
Live Casino is celebrating its 5-year anniversary by giving away $50,000 in prizes. Get in on the fun November 17th through 23rd. Play with your Live Rewards card for a chance to win your share of $50,000 in prizes. Plus, enjoy $5 specials all week long, like our $5 social margaritas, $5 nachos, $5 pretzels, and more. Celebrate 5 at Live. Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Attention Medicare eligible recipients. The Medicare open enrollment period for 2026 runs from October 15th until December 7th. This is the time to call local agent Brenda Myers at 724-437-7255 and let her show you the various Medicare Advantage plans and Part D prescription drug plans and see which best fits your current healthcare needs and your budget. Brenda will also update you on the changes for 2026 and how they will affect you. With many years' experience, Brenda Myers can help you decide which plan will work best for you. Brenda Myers has been helping Medicare beneficiaries with their health care insurance for many years and represents a variety of companies to offer you more choices. This open enrollment period is your opportunity to make changes to your health care plan and save money. Call Brenda Myers today at 724-437-7255. That's 724-437-7255 for Brenda Myers.
Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott in Uniontown is a proud sponsor of Sportsline. When you work with Janie, it's about going beyond investing. It's about connecting your life and your finances in a way that makes sense for you. The team partners with you through each stage of life to help you set and reach your financial goals. To learn more about the Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group at Janie, be sure to check out their website at www.lhwag.com. Laurel Highlands Wealth Advisory Group of Janie Montgomery Scott, LLC, member FINRA, NYSE, SIPC.
There's no place like home, and no thing like winning. Now, till the end of November, just be the 6th caller to 724-438-4593 when you hear.
Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday.
And you'll win $30 worth of Snow Place Like Home scratch-off tickets from the Pennsylvania Lottery with festive fun and 10 top prizes of $20,000. Play today and let it snow winnings. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturdays 8 to 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Braggs a call today, 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has 2 convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges.
For funeral services from pre-need to at-need, burial or cremation, call Gates Funeral Home and Crematory, located at 136 North Gallatin Avenue in a beautifully restored historic home. Family owned and operated by Rick Gates, former Brownsville resident and Guyville alumni, the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory offers warmth, convenience, affordability, and ample parking. With a knowledgeable funeral director and compassionate staff, the Gates family and the Gates Funeral Home and Crematory are ready to assist you.
That's a wrap for hour number 1 here on the Afternoon Drive Show. I'm Doug Sultan. That's Nick Barczyk. Open talk after the 6 o'clock national and local news. Nick and I will be chatting it up. If you want to give us a call, call us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line, 724-438-4593. But before that, let's go to New York for the CBS News, followed by local news.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The House has passed legislation forcing the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. The focus was then on the Senate and whether amendments would be added, which would send it back to the House. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Epstein victim groups have made clear that they support this bill as written without amendments. We should listen to them and pass this bill quickly.
CBS's Caitlin Huey Burns.
There were concerns among some lawmakers that because of all the lawsuits going on, that the administration could, not release everything that should be compelled by this piece of legislation. So we will see.
Texas lost a major court battle today. A panel of federal judges blocked the state from using a new congressional map that Republicans drew in the hopes of picking up 5 more U.S. House seats. CBS's Hunter Woodall on the national implications.
If this map ends up being, continue to be struck down as it was in this ruling, that is a massive impediment to Republicans' chances at holding on to their narrow majority in the U.S. House in the 2026 midterms.
The state's appealed to the Supreme Court. President Trump hosted the Saudi Crown Prince at the White House today. CBS's Weijia Jiang was covering.
This was a remarkable meeting, the first time that the Crown Prince is visiting the U.S. in this capacity in 7 years. And that is because 7 years ago, the CIA concluded that he was personally the one to order the killing of journalists from the Washington Post, Jamal Khashoggi.
President Trump said things happened, but he knew nothing about it. Trump also promised to sell the kingdom F-35 fighter jets. CBS's Sam Vinograd.
The United States has a commitment to Israel for Israel to have something called the QME, a qualitative military edge, and now we are giving Saudi Arabia F-35s, which will greatly enhance their capabilities.
Stacey Lynn reports a bankruptcy court judge has approved the settlement of thousands of lawsuits against Purdue Pharma, maker of the powerful prescription painkiller OxyContin, and its owners.
The Sackler family will pay up to $7 billion over 15 years. The majority of the money will go to government entities to fight the opioid crisis. Thousands of victims will also be paid thousands of dollars each.
Democrats today introduced legislation to put guardrails around private donations to fund construction on White House grounds. It comes in response to President Trump soliciting private money to fund a $300 million East Wing ballroom. Stocks finish lower today. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Cooler temperatures may be on the way, but you could still enjoy your deck or patio with retractable or fixed awnings from Lifetime Awnings. Made in the USA with manufacturers and customer guarantees, Lifetime Awnings products last. Lifetime Awnings is veteran-owned and operated with a 10% discount to all military veterans and their families. Call Lifetime Awning 724-554-6067 for a no-cost or obligation home consultation. Or email John, the owner, at lifetimeawningsusa@gmail.com.
Ready to update your home? Find what you need at Zen's Construction Warehouse. Their friendly, knowledgeable staff will be happy to help you the old-fashioned way. Zen's is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 2. 485 Walnut Hill Road in Continental. Zen's Construction Warehouse, 724-366-8274. Or visit Zen's Construction Warehouse's Facebook page.
Zen's Construction Warehouse. Our surplus, your savings.
The Cambridge Dictionary is out with its word of the year.
This word relates to the connection that someone feels between themselves and someone famous they don't actually know. Think Taylor Swift.
The only stressful weddings are the ones where you have a small amount and people are on the bubble.
Fans felt a connection when she announced her engagement to Travis Kelce. The word is parasocial. It's an academic term that's been around for 70 years. The Cambridge Dictionary says now it's mainstream with spikes for internet searches for the word. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Nearly half of all U.S. adults are worried they won't be able to afford necessary health care in the coming year. That's the highest level since Gallup began tracking it. The share of Americans reporting that they or someone in their household were not able to pay for prescription medications in the past 3 months reached a record high, 1 in 5 Americans. I'm Cammie McCormick, CBS News.
The award-winning local, district, and statewide news is brought to you by Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51. And now the news.
Good evening, 6:05 on this Tuesday. I'm Nick Barczyk from the Davis & Davis Studios. Davis & Davis Attorneys at Law. Injured. Our team is ready to fight for you. Your local station, 590 and 101.1 WMBS. Showers in the area, 39 degrees. More on the Weather Watch and sports in just a bit. Pennsylvanians may soon see water and sewage bills go up. Pennsylvania American Water has reportedly filed a rate increase request with the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission. If it is approved, the typical residential customer would see a $14 uptick to their water bill every month and about a $10 increase each month to the wastewater bill. Pennsylvania American Water says the higher rates would support over $1 billion in investments to the water and wastewater service system through 2027. The Fayette County Commissioners say they want to be proactive as they get ready to see Penn State Fayette, the Epperly campus, close in Fayette County in the spring of 2027. Today, during the Commissioner's November agenda-setting meeting, they said they plan to announce the establishment this week of a Fayette County Education Authority. A motion for that matter to be on the agenda and voted on will be Thursday morning at 10 a.m. at the Commissioner's monthly meeting. The new authority, they say, will work with the Epperly Foundation in looking to keep a college a presence in Fayette County. Commissioners also will take action on a proposed 2026 spending plan and also address some items related to the Sheepskin Trail in Spring Hill Township. The meeting will be on the WMBS Facebook, 10 o'clock Thursday morning. There is proposed new legislation for e-bikes out of Harrisburg. The proposal by Pennsylvania State Representative Jill Cooper defines for cities and towns exactly what constitutes an e- or electric bike, which in turn would allow municipalities to create better rules regarding their operations on local streets and sidewalks. Cooper says her proposed law is similar to e-bike laws in 22 other states. She said she hopes the legislation will be taken up very soon. It looks like all is well with the Westmoreland County Juvenile Detention Center in Hemphill Township. The facility passed an inspection by the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services this week and a separate federal audit in the summer. No regulatory violations were noted by state officials, and no complaints were reported by residents or staff. The center was temporarily shut down in 2023 after multiple inspections turned up a series of violations. The ice rink at PBG Place in downtown Pittsburgh is in the running to be named the best in the nation. The rink was one of 20 around the country nominated in USA Today's 10 Best. The rink is now open, and the annual tree lighting ceremony is Friday night. Voting is open through December 1st. On USA Today's website to vote the ice rink as the best in America. International student enrollment rates are dropping at American colleges and universities.
New data from the Institute of International Education found enrollment declined by 17% in fall of 2025, marking the largest non-pandemic decline in the last 11 years. International educator groups have attributed the decline to difficulties in obtaining a U.S. visa, saying the issues have made the nation less competitive on the global stage. The NAFSA, Association of International Educators, suggests that the enrollment decline carries deep economic consequences, estimating a $1.1 billion loss for the U.S. I'm Tammy Trujillo.
Sports and weather next on WMBS.
Is it time for your first home or time to trade up to a home that fits your lifestyle? It's time to visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with trade-in and trade-up deals. Imagine beautiful, new, energy-efficient homes packed with the features you've been dreaming about. Trade in and trade up at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51. Trade-in value toward purchase of a new home determined by resale value and evaluation by home center manager. Additional deposit may be required.
Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin, as we move to sports, met with the media today as the team gets ready to take on the Bears in Chicago Sunday. On the injury front, quarterback Aaron Rodgers has a fracture in his non-throwing wrist, his left wrist, that does not need surgery. He will wear a brace, and it's 50-50 as to whether it'll be Rodgers or Mason Rudolph under center for the Steelers against the Bears. Running back Jaylen Warren injured his ankle Sunday. He will be limited this week. Tomlin is optimistic he will go. Darius Slay with a concussion is going to come back once he clears the protocol. He's on defense, and Alex Highsmith on the defensive side with a pec injury will be limited this week. Steelers underdogs at the Bears. Pittsburgh at 6-4. The Bears at 7-3. Sunday at 1 on WMBS. Penguins are back in America after their games in Sweden this weekend. They'll be off until Friday. They have home games Friday and Saturday on WMBS. Pitt basketball will play Central Florida Thursday. We'll bring you their game. We brought you their game last night when they beat Bucknell. We'll bring you Central Florida and Pitt Thursday on WMBS. Pitt football, after losing to Notre Dame, they'll play Saturday at Georgia Tech. And also we'll bring you the Bills and the Texans Thursday night on WMBS. No sports this evening or tomorrow night on WMBS. The Weather Watch next.
The local, district, and statewide news was brought to you by Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. Is it time to find a home that fits your lifestyle? Visit Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon. You'll find special savings along with beautiful, energy-efficient homes packed with features you've been dreaming about at Clayton Homes of Bell Vernon, 4500 PA 51.
The Weather Watch is being brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Call Nate at 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more. Get a free quote now. Some showers in the region, 39 degrees. Right now, it went up to 45 today. Overnight low at 36. Cloudy skies Wednesday at 48. Overnight low at 41. Back into the 50s at 53 Thursday. Rain likely Friday and Saturday. High 56 Friday, 52 on Saturday with a low down to 39 Saturday night. Sunny Sunday at 56. Moving into next week, Thanksgiving week. Sunny Monday at 55. Right now at 38 with some rain in the region at 6:11 on this Tuesday night. And good evening from the Davis & Davis studios in Uniontown. I'm Nick Barczyk. More of the Afternoon Drive Show with Doug Saltzman next on WMBS. Good evening. The Weather Watch has been brought to you by State Farm agent Nathan Ferguson. Nate is there for you. Call 724-438-7611 for life, home, car insurance, and more.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed-infused Mad Pie or the spicy chicken pickle pizza, Oak has you covered. Order today at oakpizzas.com or by calling 724-439-5805. Your taste buds will thank you.
Now, you don't have to travel too far for medical marijuana products. Go to Local Leaf in Scottdale for a wide variety of locally grown and locally sourced products, plus your questions answered on medical marijuana, qualifying medical conditions, or how to register for your medical card. Local Leaf by PHG off Route 119 in Scottdale, 412-417-4964. Online at localleafpa.com. Local Leaf, your medical marijuana dispensary with locally grown and locally sourced products in Scottdale.
In 1986, the Firestone Insurance Agency in Normalville was started with a promise to provide clients with truthful, friendly, and courteous service. It worked. With an expanded client base, the Firestone Insurance Agency's customers are now able to choose from over 20 well-known insurance companies. So whether it be auto, home, business, or life, Firestone has you covered, and the promise to provide truthful, friendly, and courteous service is still in place. As an independent insurance agency, the Firestone Insurance Agency works for you. They do the shopping for you to save you time and a bunch of needless phone calls. Because let's face it, no one loves to shop for insurance. Call the office at 724-455-3900 or visit firestoneinsurance.net. Can't make it to Normalville? Let the Firestone Insurance Agency bring service right to your kitchen table. The Firestone Insurance Agency, 724-455-3900 or firestoneinsurance.net. Doing what is right for the customer, finding the most affordable rates while making sure there are no coverage gaps so you are fully protected from the unforeseen.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Experiencing symptoms of COPD? Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale has been selected to conduct a clinical research study, and participants are needed. All study-related care will be provided at no cost, and no health insurance is required. Compensation up to $2,200 for qualified participants for time and travel. To learn more, call Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281. That's Frontier Clinical Research in Scottsdale at 724-220-5281.
Go to Ford Uniontown and trade me in.
John Clinton with Dominic Carbone from your 7-time President's Award-winning Ford Uniontown. Dom, I have exciting news to share. Santa showed up early with a heap of holiday savings. Black Friday sale all month long.
Check out this offer. How about 2025 F-150 XL and XLT models? Save up to $7,000 off and you get these great rates as well. How about 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and only 4.9 for 84? Or get this, you can take advantage of 0% financing for 5 years.
Dang, Dom. Any other holiday cheer you want to throw around?
Well, John, Old St. Nick said, let's move some Explorers as well. Save up to $3,000 off 2025 Explorer, and these rates will make the Tom the Turkey blush. 2.9 for 60 months, 3.9 for 72, and that's right, 4.9 for 84 months.
Dom, pre-owned? We got them. Over 70 online, and most are certified with factory warranty. Your sleigh knows, shouldn't you? That's 40 Uniontown, on the hill across from Applebee's, or 40uniontown.com. Offer codes all factory incentives, must finance a 4-letter credit, not all buyers will qualify. Sale ends December 1st.
Welcome back. It's the third half of the afternoon drive show on your local station, WMBS Uniontown. Rainy and chilly outside our Davis and Davis Attorneys at Law Studios. Looking at, what are we like now? 48 degrees?
39.
39 degrees. I wasn't even close.
Well, hey, you're optimistic.
39 degrees. Feels like 48.
Is that right?
No, I don't think
it says it feels like 36. So
36.
Yes.
You can't really go up.
I've seen it though. I've seen the feel like be warmer. I don't get it.
Oh, is that related to like humidity in the summertime?
Who knows? I think I saw it at the Steeler game.
Very
It
muggy.
was 48, but the screen said feels like 50. I don't know. Who knows? I think they're just making
it's
stuff
very
up.
muggy out there.
Muggy's a good word. It's a Pittsburghese word, right?
Well, I thought it was. It's funny you say that. I was watching, believe it or not, an old TV show, MASH.
Wow. No, they make new TV shows.
I know.
That's
I don't
okay.
watch them.
Of course not.
Well, that's because Rob Owen.
Because I'm an old person and new things are bad. No.
Rob Owen, of course, who's the TV writer for the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. That's why we have him, so he watches the shows. We don't have to.
Right. There's a lot of bad ones.
500 of them.
Oh, God.
Whatever they are out there nowadays. Where was it going with this? Oh,
Muggy.
MASH. So one day, Radar, the character on MASH, played by Gary Berghoff, complained, man, it's too muggy for me. I thought that was a Pittsburgh term, muggy.
Maybe not. Or the writer's from Pittsburgh, which is certainly a possibility.
Entirely possible, I suppose.
Maybe it's a Rust Belt thing like pop. They say pop in other states, Michigan, Ohio.
Do they say pops?
They do.
Other places?
Yeah.
It's fun. Somebody the other day said, I need a Coca-Cola. Can you pick me?
Wow.
Somebody said Coca-Cola. It is
That's old school.
Pepsi-Cola.
That's it.
7-Up, Royal Crown Cola.
Coke, the original taste. I'm sure you remember the new Coke.
I do remember the new
Coke. It was
Coke.
awful.
Bill Cosby was the spokesperson for that. To this day, there are those who are convinced they did it on purpose, just because it the amount of attention it got. I was
Sure.
watching one of the Sunday morning shows, Meet the Press, Face the Nation. They
Ugh.
were talking about it.
Is that right?
And the one guy said, if they did fake it, man, did it work well? Because here we are talking about it. We don't usually talk
absolutely.
about soda on the Sunday morning shows.
Speaking of an old show, The Golden Girls, which I unashamedly watch, it's great. They're funny
There
ladies.
was a special the other day. I think I
Yes.
texted you about an hour-long special.
I watched it. It was wonderful.
The 40th anniversary.
There's an hour-long Everybody Loves Raymond reunion next week.
Ooh.
So I'll be watching that as well.
I've
but
never been a Everybody Loves Raymond fan, but I need to tune into it more.
You should.
I've seen shows,
It's
but I
very
haven't-
good.
Like MASH or Seinfeld, I've seen all of them 7 times.
20 times, yeah. 7, please. That's
You're
light.
right. There's probably a lot more. I've
But,
seen a lot more,
but-
especially MASH, which was on when I
Yeah.
was a kid. It came on in 1972.
Yes.
Lasted 11 years. The war
That's right.
lasted 3.
That is amazing. But they say on this episode of The Golden Girls, the B. Arthur character to the Rue McClanahan character, and they say to Betty White, "Oh, she's in a bad mood. Are you upset that your boyfriend dumped you?" And B. Arthur said, "No, Blanche, she's upset because they keep changing the taste of Coke." So that's, it made that script. That must have been in the 80s, early 90s when the new Coke was going back and
New
forth.
Coke. Yeah.
That's it.
And people said the same thing about Cracker Barrel changing its logo and redoing its stores.
Yes, they brought the man back.
Did they fake that?
The cracker back, frankly, and they admitted that in the press release. That's what that is, an
Yeah.
old white man.
So did they do that on purpose? My gosh, you said no.
As long as they keep making delicious chicken and dumplings and have that store with all the old candy, I'm fine with whatever the logo looks like.
And their stock plummeted at first, but then when they said, okay, we're going to drop this whole thing, their stock went back up and topped where it originally was.
And then Trump got involved. He made a comment, and that affected the stock price, I'm sure. But it's a great place to do Christmas shopping, certainly.
Yeah, it is. I think 80% of the gifts I bought for my mother in the last 10 years of her life, I bought at Cracker Barrel.
Yes, right.
Because it screams mom.
An old checker set. Was she into that? They have a lot of those.
We have no, but they bought. My mom and dad bought that checker set, the one that looks like it's on a rug.
Yes. And all the rocking chairs outside.
I have a rocking chair in my living room that my daughters bought for me.
Of course you do.
That has the Penn State logo on the back.
Oh my gosh, that is so Doug Saltzman. That nothing says Doug Saltzman more than that.
We have that one, and of course, we have those little triangles where you put the
golf tees in. Yeah, that's fun. While you're waiting for your chicken and dumplings.
During pandemic, they wouldn't put those on the table because they didn't want.
Yeah.
So the kids were so disappointed. I say kids; they were probably in their 20s.
Yeah.
And so I went. I said, "Scott, I have to step out for a minute." I'm sure they thought Dad was going to the bathroom for the 7th time that day. And I went into the store and bought one of those and brought them over to the table.
Oh, that you could do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and those are good things to leave in your car.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. So if somebody's bored on a trip can play with that game.
In a world without cell phones or iPads, yes. Word search books,
Right.
no, but that's fun.
And right after they're done reading, I just ruined my joke. What was that little magazine that was always at the pediatrician's office? Highlights.
Parade? Highlights. Oh.
That's where I get my highlights.
Oh, I see. Highlights.
You don't know what I'm talking
about?
about?
I don't know.
Highlights
Digest,
magazine.
I
It's
know
like a
of.
little workbook for kids.
Oh, wow. I didn't
They're
know
always
that.
in doctors and dentist's office.
I missed it.
Yes,
Maybe
you
that wasn't
did.
my era.
Have you
I
ever-
forgot.
have you ever
Doug.
been to a
I
doctor's
can't
office?
remember. Yeah, it's been a while. I can't remember every little cultural thing or everything in the doctor's office.
I suppose. So what?
Sorry.
What is your your favorite tradition like that? Those crazy
Oh.
ideas around the holidays that you do. We always play games on Thanksgiving. One called Tripoli. Have you ever heard of
Tripoli.
that game? We play Tripoli, Parcheesi.
Like the city in Italy?
Sort of, yes.
Yeah.
There's a game called Tripoli. So give us a call, 724-438-4593 on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital talk line. What
Frank is-
traditions do you have on Thanksgiving that aren't just part of the turkey stuffing, that sort of thing?
Frank is dialing right now, calling up
Frank
about
LaCava.
about old traditions in Southwest Pennsylvania.
And he knows all of them.
Yes, Thanksgiving was founded by blah blah blah, and
And
blah
he
blah.
knows it without notes, and we're not
That's
making
right.
fun of him. He
No.
knows it's local historian Frank LaCava.
And we're glad he listens.
Absolutely, it's great.
We appointed him to listen. He's our ombudsman. No, we
Yeah,
don't
if you
pay
have
him.
any concerns, call Frank.
Call Frank. He'll call us
Yeah,
if we
no,
get something wrong. No, he's
just,
great. He's a great guy, and we
knows
love
his
all of our listeners. We have to say that, I think.
Yeah, you have to say
Yeah.
we like them all.
But we love
equally.
our sponsors the most.
They're all
Let's be
winners.
honest. They're all winners.
Isn't that how it usually goes?
Yeah, but we love our sponsors the most, frankly.
Coming up after the bottom of the hour, Bob Kurlick's going to join us. We've talked to him a couple of times over the last few months. He is Director of Public Affairs of the Pittsburgh International Airport. You can't miss it today. It's the biggest thing
boy.
to hit southwestern PA since I think the last Super Bowl.
That's right.
The new airport terminal opening up. I was out there for a tour. It's terrific. I'm sure they were like knots in their stomach. Is this going to go smoothly on the first day?
I'm sure.
It's just not like opening a new store.
No.
You've got to make sure the thing works. If you've ever seen a documentary about the opening of the Denver airport, which
they made a documentary about the opening of the Denver airport.
It was such a disaster.
Oh, I see.
They had this new system for the luggage. It was getting jammed. Luggage was getting torn.
Oh.
It was it literally delayed for more than a year the opening of the new airport there.
Wow.
Because the luggage system, where it was moving from one part of the airport to the other. Hard to believe there were 8 miles of travel for some of the baggage at the old airport.
That's amazing.
8 miles.
That's some well-traveled luggage.
Yeah, it's not one piece of luggage traveled 8 miles, but there were a total of 8. What's the word I'm looking for? Like those things they roll on, the
wheels. No.
No. You drop a bag on, it swoops away.
Conveyor belt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Conveyor belt. 8 miles of conveyor belts.
Wow, that's
a lot. At the old airport, because of course there was quite a distance between the gates and then the terminal. But now the terminal and the gates touch each other, and they have to figure out what to do with the other building at this point, which is actually called the Tom Forster Landside Building, named for the former county commissioner.
Wow.
Who pushed hard to get the old airport opened up, the old airport terminal opened up, even though he hated to fly. So they called the Landside Building the Tom Forster.
Oh, I see. That's cool.
It's hard to believe. I was makes me feel very old that I flew into the old airport, and when my flight came back into town in 1992, we went to the new airport.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow. Those 33 years ago already.
I recall there being a lot of cameras around.
Oh, I'm sure. But yes, you would have thought this morning I was watching some of the news that it was the first day for aviation in world history.
Well, the Wright brothers are there.
They were there. Orville and Wilbur were there.
Wilbur and Mrs. Wright, who
Mrs.
I think
Wright.
invented the first airline stewardess.
Ah, there you go.
Mrs. Wright. Right.
Yeah, flight attendants, or sometimes they call them, stewardesses or flight attendants. And you know what I call them? The lady on the plane.
Right.
Sometimes there's a man on the plane. Now that's a quality. I'm all good for that.
Right. And they're sometimes called uniformed.
Oh, yes. Uniformed crew members.
Crew members. That's right. As opposed to those crew members not wearing anything.
That's right.
You rarely see that at an airport.
Carlin's Bet About Airlines, one of his better ones.
Yeah, we're quoting George Carlin here. He talks about what it's like when you get on the airplane, and they go on in great detail about the working of a belt buckle.
Here we are, a plane full of adults, some of us partially educated, and they're actually going into details about the mechanics of a belt buckle.
Yeah, it is funny how they explain how to open the belt buckle.
Yes, and lawyers are involved with that. You have to really explain this in depth, even though it's ridiculous and a waste of time.
Won't know how to get the seatbelt off in an emergency.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a change in cabin pressure. Roof flies off.
Yeah, it is interesting, and you think about how remarkably safe air travel is.
Oh, way safer to fly than drive or even take a train.
That's one of those classic stats. More people die every year driving to and from airports than on the plane. It's not even close.
Exactly. But people, many of them are terrified of flying.
Yeah, if you've got a phobia, you can't handle it. I worked with a guy in Washington who used to travel home to see his parents in Chicago, and he drove because he didn't feel comfortable on the planes. But
and did you explain to this guy, man, it is more dangerous to be on the interstate than the plane?
He knew that, but he just had a phobia. And
I know.
Another buddy of mine has a phobia about flying, and so he took tranquilizers, and he was so loopy, his wife had trouble getting him off the plane.
Wow. Just have a couple shots of Jack Daniels, man,
Isn't that what the bar is for?
Exactly. That's what the bar is for.
My grandfather used to fly a lot, and he always brought home imagine nowadays, those little bottles. And
so
I had this collection of little bottles which me and my friends would play with. Now, Child and Youth Services would be called.
They would have showed up. A helicopter would have been overhead.
Yeah, why is Doug playing with little whiskey bottles that his grandfather got on the planes?
Those were the days. They used to give you a full meal on the plane. They would give you a knife and a fork. Could you imagine that now?
Yeah, it's we always thought it was odd when there's some restaurants, of course, at the airside terminal, Pittsburgh International. Now this is on the other side of security, and we would stop. We'd come home from Harrisburg, a bunch of lobbyists, and we'd stop and have dinner. And here you are, and they'd give you a knife and fork, and I'd have a steak, and I have a steak knife.
Absolutely.
There's no reason I couldn't have walked out with that steak.
Oh,
knife.
I know.
So I'm not sure how they handle that now. I used to fly so often, but the absolute 99% of my flying was pre 9/11.
Yeah.
And it didn't just stop because of 9/11. I just did not, I had a different type of job then. I didn't have to fly 70 times a year. At one
Wow,
point.
70 flights a year.
75 one year. I set a record at the company I was working for.
And back then you could get there, a half hour early and pay for the ticket in cash.
At most.
Yeah, exactly.
I would. My goal was to arrive, park at the airport, and be one of the last people to walk down the why can't I think of words?
Terminal, runway.
The gangplank.
Yeah, the gangplank, yeah. We know what you're talking about.
That's what they force people off of pirate bridges.
Yeah, well hey.
So that was the goal back then. You
Ahoy.
Playing that late nowadays. I used to fly a lot to Harrisburg. Now it wouldn't make sense.
A flight from Pittsburgh to Harrisburg. That's a quick one.
Yeah,
How long are you in the air?
I sit not long.
Half hour?
You taxi sometimes almost as much as you fly.
Sure.
But nowadays you have to get to the airport so early. Probably wouldn't make sense to fly to Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Although,
security.
Sure, there's still flights because there's connections and all that. It used to drive us crazy back in the day. U.S. Airways, which doesn't exist anymore.
No, it's U.S. Air.
They
spent a lot of money scrubbing Waze off the flights.
They actually added Waze.
Oh, it was U.S. Air. Now it's U.S. Airways.
And
see.
that doesn't exist either.
Oh, okay.
But it used to drive us nuts. It would cost, I don't know, it was like $378 to fly to Harrisburg. But if somebody was flying from L.A. to Harrisburg, they'd have to connect through Pittsburgh, and the whole flight was cheaper.
Oh, my gosh.
So we used to buy tickets that said we started in L.A. and just used the last part, but U.S. Airways said you couldn't do that, and so we went to court over it, and we lost.
Is that right?
It just seems a little silly.
It does seem very silly, but what else is new?
But those are tricks we tried to do to get there. Because U.S. Airways, they absolutely had not a total monopoly, but certainly I think they had 90% of the flights out of Pittsburgh Airport.
Jeez, a whiz.
And back then, 80% of the people who flew into the airport in Pittsburgh never left the airport. It was
That's
a
right.
hub. You'd fly in and fly out, fly in and fly out. But now it's totally different. Many more options out there. And we're going to get information on that from our friend Bob Kurlick, who's probably sick of talking with
I was going to say, how many interviews has he done today?
This will be, the interviews today, I can't imagine. But he's done 3 interviews with us as part of this process. So we're going to hit that CBS News update in less than a minute. We come back, we'll check in with Bob. Then in the third hour of the show tonight, we're going to check in with Loman Henry. You hear him regularly. In fact, you heard him earlier today on a recorded version of American Radio Journal. We're going to talk to him about the latest in Harrisburg. You hear him regularly on WMBS on Lincoln Radio Journal and American Radio Journal. We'll talk to him about the recent election, the Shapiro administration, the budget issue, the fact that they're spending more money than they're bringing in.
That's right.
It's an issue. Can't do that. Can't do that forever. We're not the federal government just borrowing money. But first, let's go to CBS News. Oh, wait, we're 10 seconds away. I'm looking at the wrong clock on my computer here. But we'll hit that CBS News brief from Manhattan. Then we'll come back. Nick will give us an update on the forecast as well. And we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh airport. Stick around.
CBS News Brief. The House passed a bill today forcing the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files. Then there was talk of amendments in the Senate. Before that could happen,
my unanimous consent request guarantees that the Senate will immediately pass the Epstein Files Transparency Act without any further action as soon as it comes over from the House.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
It's time that the Senate finish the job to finally compel the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files.
President Trump is hosting the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia at the White House, his first visit since the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. Reporters asked about it.
Things happen, but he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
U.S. intelligence had determined that Prince Mohammed ordered the killing. On Wall Street today, stocks finished lower, the Dow off nearly 500 points. CBS News Brief, I'm Cammie McCormick.
I'm Aaron Zolbrod, owner and founder of the health insurance store in Connellsville, and I have an important message for those on Medicare. Premiums for Part B, Advantage plans, and supplements are all increasing for 2026. In addition, many people will be faced with higher medical copays and $600 to $1,400 in additional out-of-pocket medication costs next year. Don't panic. You have options, and the health insurance store can compare every competitive Advantage plan and supplement side by side, ensuring that you get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Since 2008, over 20,000 people have put their trust in the health insurance store to help them navigate the Medicare maze. With all the current and future changes, higher premiums, and out-of-pocket costs, never has it been more important to have an experienced and caring agency looking out and advocating for you. For a no-cost consultation, call the Health Insurance Store at 724-603-3403, 603-3403, or visit us online, www.getyourbestplan.com, getyourbestplan.com.
Hey love, I'm Tiffany from Tiffany Smith Fine Art Studios, serving up confidence boosts in Periopolis in our brand new luxury studio in downtown Pittsburgh. I'm not just here to take your picture, I'm here to help you remember who you are. Whether it's been a wild few years or you're just feeling a little blah, this is your permission slip to feel powerful again. You'll laugh, maybe cry, and leave feeling like that girl. Book your experience at TiffanySmithFineArtStudios.com because you deserve to be seen.
It's a new day at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, and we're bringing a new level of quality healthcare to our community. From primary care to specialty services, our team has always put patients first. And now, thanks to our merger with WVU Medicine, our commitment to patient-centered care has grown even stronger. With new resources, a growing staff, and advanced technology, our team is here to provide you with top-quality care when it matters most. Discover the new Uniontown Hospital and see how we've grown.
When you are looking to make some extra cash for your aluminum cans, visit Cherokee Recycling, where aluminum can is king. Cherokee Recycling is open Monday through Friday 9 to 4:30 and Saturdays 8 to 12 noon, closed Sundays and holidays. Give Marcus or Braggs a call today, 724-439-3228 for Cherokee Recycling, where recycling makes the most sense.
Hello, I'm Attorney Jeremy Davis from the law firm of Davis & Davis. We have been helping the great people of Fayette County for over 45 years with personal injury claims. If you are hurt or injured, call our law firm for your free consultation. The insurance companies are not on your side. Call us today at 724-437-2799. Either myself or an attorney from our office will personally come out and meet with you. If you're in an accident or hurt, call us at Davis & Davis, 724-437-2799 for your free consultation. Let us fight for you.
Are you looking to list or sell your house? Now is the time to let the professionals at Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty help you with all of your real estate needs. Caldwell Banker Laurel Ridge Realty has two convenient locations to better serve you. In Uniontown area, 724-437-7100, or in Connellsville area, 724-628-7200, and speak with one of our real estate professionals. Visit our website, caldwellbanker.com. We have been proudly serving Western Pennsylvania area for over 30 years and look forward to helping you with all of your real estate needs. Broker Paul Borges Jr.
It's a day that ends in Y, so it's a day that you might decide you don't want to cook. That means it's the perfect day to order Fat Angelo's. Offering delicious pizzas, salads, hoagies, strombolis and calzones, wings, and more. And with 12 locations across the area ready to serve you, today is the day to visit FatAngelosPizza.com, where you can quickly and conveniently find your local shop and place your order online. Or get the local phone number and give them a call. Order up!
What better song to play for our next interview than that one? Good work over there, producer Nick Barczyk. Well done.
That's what I do.
Jet Airliner, bring us out of the break here as we're about to interview somebody who I'm guessing has done 17 other interviews today about the opening of the new terminal building. You literally have to be under a rock not to know that Pittsburgh has a new terminal building.
They mentioned it during the Steeler game Sunday. New terminals opening
the national broadcast.
Kevin Harlan on CBS.
Yeah, on CBS mentioned it, that Pittsburgh's getting a new terminal. And
here we go.
No doubt.
Oh, big old jet airliner.
No doubt the federal government reopened just so they could have the opening of the Pittsburgh Terminal Airport. And joining us on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line, the Director of Public Affairs for Pittsburgh International Airport, the Allegheny County Airport Authority, Bob Kurlick. Bob, it's been a long day for you. By all indications, it's pretty smooth operations for a brand new building.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Doug. I appreciate it. And you hit the nail on the head. We've done a lot of interviews today. So, yes, you're right about that. Yeah, I mean, it was really a smooth day for us. We were really happy about that. It's really a historic day for the region. It's the culmination of more than 10 years of work, 4 years of construction, and we couldn't have been happier with the rollout of the seamless transition this morning.
and of course throw the pandemic into the middle of all this, of that effort too. It's. I heard somebody on some show say, "Why did it take so long?" I said, "Well, I'm thinking to myself, well, you're not building a new Dollar General store, for heaven's sakes. This is a little bigger than that." And the fact that you literally were building it at a place that was in operation. We've used that line several times, repairing a car as you're going down the street, changing a tire as the car's going along. You had literally a subway running under the construction the entire time to get people from the... Now, I should mention it, the Tom Forster Landside building, as it was known up until today, but out to the new building. All that had to happen while everything else was happening. I guess that's a goofy way of saying it, but that's literally what was going on.
Yeah, that's right. And so, like you said, those are all the changing the tire in the moving car, operating on the live patient, right? Those are all what we've been saying over the last couple of years. So, yes, and we did it, and it works. That's the big news. So the baggage system worked, the checkpoint worked, all the major systems worked. So we were very happy with the way that it turned out. And the biggest reason is because we had trialed and we tested it over and over and over again. Doug, you know about the public trials that we had with more than 2,000 people that came. We had the public open house when you were there, when we had nearly 10,000 people. So we've had a lot of people through the terminal. We've been testing it for many, many months. And so really when today was opening, while it was opening day for the general public, it really wasn't day one for us. We've been working on this for quite some time. So, that was the goal. And the reason we opened on a Tuesday is because Tuesdays, traditionally, Wednesdays, are the lower travel days of the week, right? You don't want to open on a Monday. You don't want to open on a Friday or weekend. So we had about 20,000 passengers today. That's compared to about 30,000 that we would have had yesterday, right? So less than we would have had. It was very successful, and it was a good trial run as we get into the weekend and next week for the Thanksgiving travel rush.
If you were really gutsy, you would have opened it the day before Thanksgiving. That's when you want to do it, or Christmas week or something like that. Obviously, I was talking to somebody who's part of the construction crew out there, and their supervisors were saying everybody should watch the documentary about the opening of the Denver airport, which was one of the all-time classic engineering disasters. But that wasn't going to happen here.
Well, the baggage system didn't work there.
Oh, I know. It was classic. The Denver thing was an absolute colossal disaster. It delayed opening the airport by more than a year, and that's why they said you should watch this documentary, because it was such a disaster. We want to avoid that.
Well, I mean, the airport in Berlin took 7 years to open. That was also a massive failure. They had a lot of problems with the fire alarm system, and so these things don't always go smoothly. So, credit to the Pittsburgh region, credit to our team for getting things prepared and ready to go. We had, it was, like I said, it was a seamless transition. We had a few hiccups in the morning. TSA had a few equipment issues a little bit in the morning that snarled lines for a little bit, but they got it quickly resolved, and lines throughout the day, for the most part, were less than 5 minutes. So we saw a pretty good response from TSA.
Heck, there's a hiccup at any facility any day of the week. So a couple of hiccups on day one, I would think would be a pretty major accomplishment at the new airport. So were there? This is sort of a funny question. I got these at radiosaltsman@gmail.com. Was there the official last person to go through security at the old airport terminal building? And is there officially documented first person to do it in the new airport terminal? Are those things that were documented, or are you just...
So we have... Yeah, I don't have the official last person to go through security of the old terminal, but I can tell you that the last flight out last night was actually a 9:55 departure to Du Bois. That was the last departure out of the old terminal. The last international departure, which was the second to last flight, was the nonstop to British Airways last night. Nonstop to London on British Airways last night. And then this morning, we did document. There was a gentleman, the checkpoint opened at the new airport, opened about 2:30 in the morning. The first person came through about 7 minutes later, gentleman from Wilkinsburg, and he was the first person through. We saw the first flight out of the new terminal this morning was 5:30 Southwest to Denver. And the first arrival this morning was actually even before that. It landed about 5 a.m. It was a red-eye from San Francisco on United. And so we saw the folks, greeted the folks as they came in to baggage claim this morning.
Yeah, I remember back in 1992 when the new landside and airside terminal opened up. I flew out of the old airport, the old 1952 airport, and when I came in, we flew into the new airport. So that was kind of crazy, and that was just by fluke that I happened to be flying that time. So that was rather interesting to have that transition as well. But that was very different, of course. That's two different buildings entirely. Might as well have been two different airports. The runways were the same, but the buildings were totally different. This one, you're using an older building that's had a lot of renovation done to it, and a totally new building. So this was rather fascinating.
That's right. So brand new building on one side, and the existing renovated gates on the other side. One thing of note was kind of funny. The first passenger that ended up coming through about 2:35 in the morning did not know that this was going to be opening day for the airport.
Oh.
So, he was surprised to know that he was coming to the new terminal this morning. So,
probably am I in the right city? This doesn't look right. What happened here? Yeah.
Right.
Did I get?
So,
it's like getting off the bus at the wrong stop. Wait. What did I do wrong?
That's right.
So yeah, no, it's great. Congratulations to the whole team for making this happen. It's a long endeavor. We're talking about a $1.7 billion building. Is that right?
That's right. Yep, $1.7 billion project.
And the amount of tax dollars used to do that would not even fill a thimble. This was entirely without tax dollars. And
that's right. No local or state tax dollars in the project. So we're very happy to do that. The airlines cover the majority of the rates and charges, as well as revenue generated at the airport through parking, concessions, and fees that we charge the airline.
Yeah, answering just some basic questions folks might have. They think, my gosh, how am I going to get from the old parking lot all the way out there? But obviously, there's new parking right next to the new building.
Yeah, just a quick tutorial on parking. So with the new terminal, we have built two new what we call parking products. So there's a brand new garage, which is attached to the new terminal. It contains 3 times the amount of covered parking. We have a brand new terminal lot, which is a surface parking lot, which is also right across the street from the new terminal. So both of those, you walk right in. For folks that are familiar with the old extended economy and long-term lots, those have all been merged into one lot, and that becomes the shuttle lot. And you will not be able to walk from those lots any longer. Those ones are exclusively shuttle service now. But we have added 8 new shuttles, parking lot shuttles, with real-time information on there. So we've added new shuttle shelters with real-time information in there as well to tell you how long until the next shuttle comes, which is a max of 10 minutes. And then it's the longest you would ride in the shuttle is 10 minutes to the shelter. So for folks that are worried about that, and if you have come in and if you have parked you're already parked and you flew out of the old terminal and you're coming in and wondering how you're going to get to your car, the shuttle will take you right to your car. So you go outside, you let the guy know that, hey, I parked in this lot, and they'll take you right there.
And the old parking deck, the old parking garage, is that being used?
So the old parking garage, obviously there will be cars in there until, folks that are parked in there that are on vacation as they come back and trickle out. So eventually that will be closed once all those folks have returned. It will be closed in the short term. We're going to evaluate it and see what we're going to do with it in the long term. But for now, the old parking garage will close in the short term.
And then, of course, the old airside building. That's
the old landside building. Yes.
Landside building. I'm sorry, the landside building. Named for Tom Forster. I always want to point that out.
Yes.
Who was the drive behind that airport buildings back in the day, in the early 1990s, late 80s. That's sort of up for grabs what might happen with that building, and perhaps a company might move in there or what have you, correct?
Yeah, so we've been talking to a couple developers. We've been very focused on getting the new terminal open, so we'll turn our attention to the old landside building now, particularly as we move into the new year. But we have some feelers out with some developers. We're seeing if there's any interest, and if there's not, then the building could eventually be torn down. So no decisions yet on that, but stay tuned as we move into 2026.
Obviously makes sense to get the new one up and running before you worry about what to do with the old one. But congrats to the whole crew out there that made all this happen. The construction workers, and of course the employees, the TSA employees who are using new equipment, new location. And actually, they were working through a pretty tough period with the government shutdown. And we thank those for who coming to work without getting paid. And thankfully, that all got resolved in time. And congrats to you. I don't know if you're setting a new record today for the most interviews you've done in one day. So,
well, the most interviews, yes, perhaps. Also, probably the longest stretch I've gone without sleep. With we've been, we had been going all night. Obviously, we wanted to make sure things were going well, and local media, of course, is very interested in this, and they've had crews with wall-to-wall coverage since the beginning, which is great because we want people to know. We're very eager to show it off. It's a beautiful terminal, as you know, Doug, when you get in there. And, when we were in there this morning, we were there as the TSA opened the checkpoint. It was a milestone. Our CEO, Christina Casota, she gave the go-ahead. We were all sitting in what we call our Emergency Operations Center, which we stood up to make sure that we had, handle any issues. And, because there's a lot that goes into opening a new terminal. The roadways, making sure that those things all opened overnight. Everything was all set for the passengers. And so she gave the go-ahead about 2:00 in the morning to open the new terminal. The roadways were switched over. The checkpoint was open by 2:30, and the first passengers were coming through. So, like I said, we had the trial runs before. Today was showtime, and really, when we get into the Thanksgiving travel week next week, it'll really be showtime.
I was really disappointed I wasn't chosen to be part of those trials, those test runs, as you called it. I did apply. I was going to be that cranky customer complaining that his golf clubs got broken. I could have been that guy. But no, obviously, I think what you needed 2,000 people. Somebody told me you had 10,000 apply to do it.
18,000.
18,000
people apply for 2,000 slots.
Well, that's a nice problem to have, I suppose, as opposed to scrambling to get people to do it. But that's why it opened smoothly today. And my brother and I were I've flown a lot over the years, and so is he, all over the world, just dumbfounded by what the new airport's like. It's just amazing. And it looked great a few weeks ago when we took that tour, and it was still under construction at that point to a degree. And I'll tell you what, when we saw a lot of the people that were coming in today, right, for the first time, they're coming in with their phones. They're recording it, right? They're looking at that constellation lighting and the high ceiling. We saw a lot of people with phones out coming in, even as they went all the way through the checkpoint. And then there's the terminal bridge, what we call the Sky Bridge, and the tunnel experience. And then you go right into the newly reconfigured center core. So, yes. And of course the famous mobile was hanging up in the terminal building now. That's still kind of bounced around the city over the years. It was once out at the Carnegie Museum, then at I think both airports, and now at the new one as well. So congratulations.
Yes, that's right. It hung in the 1952 terminal. It hung in the 1992 terminal, and now of course in the new terminal. So yes, right there in the center atrium area when you come in, it has a very nice place of prominence, and it fits nicely within the new terminal.
Yeah, it sure does. Well done. You sounded almost completely coherent during this interview, despite your lack of sleep.
Well, that's good, because I won't remember anything of what I said. So
yeah. Well, we'll send you a recording of it so you know what you said. But well done. Thanks, Bob. Bob Curley from the Pittsburgh International Airport, the Airport Authority, on the opening day of the new terminal building. It really is worth just going out to see. That sounds funny, but even if you're not flying somewhere, check it out. But I guess you still cannot go out to the gate areas, right? That's not a possibility.
Not yet. We were, that was something that we had instituted prior to COVID, and then post COVID, really, we were under construction. So it was, we are looking at that. And as we get into 2026, we'll make a decision on that. We just wanted to make sure we got open. We want to see how the checkpoint lines go. We don't want to put any added stress on TSA right now, particularly. There's a lot of new equipment that they're working on, right? Yeah. So these are all the latest machines that they're getting through. So once they get used to those up and running, and we get a nice cadence, we'll make some decisions on that in 2026.
Yeah, those new screening pieces of machines look like something out of a Space Odyssey or something.
They look like jet engines.
Yeah, they do. They're
Yeah.
pretty wild looking when you saw them. Bob, thanks so much. Get some sleep. We appreciate you.
All right,
joining us
thanks,
today.
Doug. Thanks for having me on.
All righty, thanks. Well, it's opened, the new Pittsburgh Airport Terminal. It really is worth just going out to see the building. It's something, especially if you're picking up folks, don't just wait at the curb for them. Park where you can and go inside and check it out. It's a great building. And it really is, that's the first, when people come to Pittsburgh for the first time, that's the first thing they see. So it's you want to have that shock and awe. Well, not the shock part, but the awe part. And
It's Vietnam, shock and awe.
shock and awe. That's more war related. But no, it's just
Apocalypse Now.
When you first go in there and see it, it's
futuristic looking. Looks
yeah,
very nice.
Very, very cool. We're going to take a break, wrap up hour number 2, and we come back in the third hour today. We're going to talk to our friend Loman Henry. You hear him regularly here on WMBS. We'll talk to him about the latest in Harrisburg. But first, this is the Afternoon Drive Show on WMBS.
Feeling lucky? Your next big jackpot is waiting for you. Visit the casino at Nemacolin in Farmington, PA for the ultimate casino experience featuring the hottest table games, daily promotions, big-time giveaways, and an exciting variety of premium slots. And after, celebrate your big win with a juicy burger at the Royale while you watch the big game. Hotel packages available. Visit CasinoNemacolin.com for more information. The Casino at Nemacolin. Game on. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Tune in to WMBS the second and fourth Thursdays monthly at 10:30 a.m. for an all-new radio program with Pete Crackle, Director of Clinical Operations and Pharmacist at Nickman's Drug. Pete will explore a myriad of health-related topics and talk about how a strong relationship with your pharmacist is vital for your best health. So mark your listening calendars and be sure to catch the all-new show the second and fourth Thursday each month. Need a pharmacy? Visit Nickman's Drug today at any of their 7 area locations.
One of the most incredible architectural masterpieces in the United States is right here in Fayette County. And this fall is your chance to see the work being done to preserve this national treasure as work continues to fortify Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, a world-famous work of architecture that's on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Falling Water invites you to Fayette County Appreciation Day on Sunday, November 23rd to see their multi-year historic preservation effort in action, in addition to the always breathtaking home itself. Falling Water is offering free tours for Fayette County residents on Sunday, November 23rd. Book your free tour of Falling Water in advance by calling 724-329-8501. Falling Water's Preservation in Action tours will take place between 9:30 a.m. and 4 p.m. Be sure to make your reservation in advance and don't miss your chance to witness this once-in-a-lifetime preservation tour of Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water.
It's a new day at WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital, and we're bringing a new level of quality healthcare to our community. From primary care to specialty services, our team has always put patients first. And now, thanks to our merger with WVU Medicine, our commitment to patient-centered care has grown even stronger. With new resources, a growing staff, and advanced technology, our team is here to provide you with top-quality care when it matters most. Discover the new Uniontown Hospital and see how we've grown.
CareerLink is your one-stop resource for employment and training-related services. Visit CareerLink and you'll have access to many programs and agencies for assistance with economic, educational, and job-related needs. For more information on all the programs available to you, contact CareerLink at 724-434-JOBS. That's 724-434-JOBS.
Mountaintop Title and Notary can handle all of your motor vehicle and PennDOT needs, such as titles, plates, renewal, registrations, and all notary needs. Tina Nicholson of Mountaintop Title and Notary can also handle ATV and boat titles and also does income taxes. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 4:30, and appointments can be made for after hours and Saturdays. Mountaintop Title and Notary with a new location at 655 Nelson Road in Farmington, the only place you need to go for all title, notary, and tax work. Call Tina at 724-984-1514 for the most professional services around.
WMBS.
Ian Anderson, lead singer and flautist for Jethro Tull.
Boy, could he flout.
He could flout.
And I figure the more he played Jethro Tull, the better chances they have of getting in the Rock Hall of Fame and for us to do a broadcast there.
Speaking of the Rock Hall of Fame, man, did the lead singer for Styx.
Yes. whose name's escaping me.
Another
Leonard
Anderson,
Sticks,
isn't
renegade, every Steeler game.
He blasted the Hall of Fame on the process of selecting people.
Wow.
Yeah, really went after him.
And Steve Miller, who we played earlier, they did not want to induct his band. They just wanted to induct him, and he said, blank you, and it wasn't Screw.
Yeah, and he said, and we had to pay to go to the event.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah, it's...
Have you ever been to... Well, they have a big ceremony in New York, I believe, for the induction.
It's been in New York over
It's
the
not
years.
in Cleveland, where the actual hall is. That tells you all you need to know about Cleveland.
At the Waldorf.
Yeah. But then again, you said the Pennsylvania dinner was in New York.
Every year it's called the Pennsylvania Society Dinner. It's at the Waldorf Astoria in New York
It's
City.
a lot more expensive. Dinner's a lot more expensive in New York than Harrisburg.
A lot of places. I entertained, back in my lobbying days, entertained a lot of folks at that dinner over the years. Like 2,500 people at one dinner. It's like a city, for crying out loud.
New York's a different animal, man.
It sure is. And it's going to be a totally different animal with this new mayor.
Oh, yes. You excited for Mayor Mamdani? You're going to be moving there now.
Wants to open government-run grocery stores.
Oh, what could go wrong?
Exactly.
And the fights between him and Trump the next few years will be great. Legendary. Politics shouldn't be, men fighting with each other, but that's really what the fun of it is.
A 34-year-old mayor who...
Yeah, he's too young to be president. He's going to run New York City.
Yeah. And he proudly presents himself as a socialist.
Oh, sure.
When you had former Senator Rick Santorum on a couple of weeks ago, I said, he doesn't seem to shy away from that. And Santorum said, I don't think he shies away from being called a communist, for heaven's sake. But yeah, he wants to open government-run grocery stores. How many grocery stores do you need to feed New York?
9 million people. Just the fact that people would live in a city with 9 million people. I mean, there's a lot to do. I get it, Broadway and shows, and it's up all night. And that's what somebody said about New York. Where else in America in the world can you get a haircut at 3 a.m? Who cares? That's the last thing I want to do at 3 a.m.
Yeah, get a haircut.
Who cares? Get going during the day like a normal person.
I think the only crazy place I ever got a haircut, there's a barber shop at Walt Disney World. And I was there one time. My daughters were there, and I was kind of walking around by myself. And suddenly I see a barber shop. I went and got my haircut.
There you go.
And then my daughter said, Dad, your hair looks different. I said, a haircut. She said, at Disney World?
Was Goofy cutting it or Mickey Mouse?
It was right. I guess a lot of people like to have their babies get their first haircut. At Walt Disney World. It's right next to the entrance when you walk in near the train station, if you're curious next time you're there.
Very curious about Disney.
I'm Doug Saltzman. That's Nick Barczyk. You're listening to the Afternoon Drive Show. The late edition's coming up, but first news on WMBS Uniontown.
House and Senate vote to release the Epstein files.
The yeas are 427, the nays are 1.
Saudi Arabia pledges major investment in U.S.
The $600 billion will be $1 trillion.
Immigration raids continue in Charlotte.
Still unsure as to how long they will be here.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, late edition. I'm Christopher Cruz. A near-unanimous vote in the House today to require the Justice Department to release the Jeffrey Epstein files.
The bill is passed.
The bill moved quickly to the Senate.
Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says the American people and Epstein survivors have waited long enough.
This is about giving the American people the transparency they've been crying for.
The unanimous consent procedure means the Senate has now passed the Epstein bill without amendments as soon as it arrives from the House. The House voted earlier to pass it 427 votes to 1. Allison Keyes, CBS News, Washington.
The bill now goes to the president, who has said he will sign it, but not when. After the House vote, survivors of Epstein's abuse celebrated.
We're ready for the next step, and we're ready to finally release the files.
All the files. All the files.
President Trump today welcomed Saudi Arabia's crown prince to the White House. Mohammed bin Salman told Trump Saudi Arabia would sharply increase its investment in the U.S.
I believe, Mr. President, today and tomorrow we're going to announce that we are going to increase that $600 billion to almost $1 trillion of investment, real investment and real opportunity by details in many areas.
U.S. intelligence agencies say bin Salman likely ordered the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi, who also wrote for the Washington Post. When a reporter asked bin Salman about that, Trump lashed out.
Things happen, but he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
The NTSB says the cause of last year's collapse of the Key Bridge in Baltimore was a loose wire that caused a container ship to lose its power and its steering. Chair Jennifer Homendy.
It just didn't fit. So it became disconnected. It backed out.
6 construction workers died in the collapse. Immigration agents continue their operation in Charlotte over the protests of local officials. CBS's Skylar Henry is there.
Hundreds of students walked out of several schools here in the district, one at East Mecklenburg High School, in protest of the federal agents here in the city. And we have continued to see dramatic video of the tactics that these federal agents have been using to try to detain some of these individuals.
It was yet another day deep in the red on Wall Street. The Dow closed down more than 1%. Now this.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
When I asked Scott Lucky if his last name had anything to do with his success in the trucking industry, he laughed and said, "Well, Mike, I guess you could say I've always been lucky." But when I asked him how he and his family grew Lucky Distribution Services into the company it is today, he didn't talk about luck at all. "We work hard," he said. "We keep a close eye on the bottom line, and we treat our people the right way." In other words, Scott Lucky makes his own luck, which is precisely why he switched to Pure Talk Business. "Last month, I paid the big guys $740 for 12 lines," he told me. "This month, I paid Pure Talk $420 for the exact same service." Thousands of businesses all over the country are saving real money by switching to America's most dependable 5G network, and luck has nothing to do with it. Just dial pound 250 and say micro. That's pound 250 micro to switch to a wireless company that works as hard as you do. Pure Talk.
A panel of federal judges in El Paso, Texas, has blocked the state from using the congressional maps approved by Republican legislators this summer. The goal was to increase the number of Republicans elected to the U.S. House from Texas.
U.S. District Judge Jeffrey Brown sided with the plaintiffs in this case, including minority rights groups, that the map is racially discriminatory. LULAC attorney Nina Perales represented the plaintiffs.
When they were talking about their final product in August 2025, they describe it in terms of race. That's unconstitutional.
The state can only appeal this decision to the U.S. Supreme Court. Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
The Trump administration is taking a major step toward dismantling the Department of Education. It needs congressional approval to shut it down entirely, but not to reduce its size. The administration will transfer billions of dollars in grant programs to other federal agencies. You're listening to the CBS World News Roundup.
Hear that? It's holiday cheer arriving at Ulta Beauty with gifts for everyone on your list. Treat them to fan-favorite gift sets from Charlotte Tilbury and Peach & Lily. Go all out with timeless fragrances from YSL, Ariana Grande, and Carolina Herrera. And you can never go wrong with an Ulta Beauty gift card. Head to Ulta Beauty for gifts that make the holidays brighter and even more beautiful. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
We have bad news for people who think smoking just a few cigarettes a day won't harm their health. The story from CBS's Jim Crisula.
Even so-called low-intensity smoking, just 2 to 5 cigarettes per day, can increase a person's risk of death by 60%. That's the finding of a study of 300,000 people by researchers at Johns Hopkins University.
Honda is recalling hundreds of thousands of its most popular cars. From Detroit WWJ radio reporter Jeff Gilbert.
Honda's recalling more than 250,000 2023 to 25 model year Accord hybrids to fix a software issue that affects the vehicle's engines. The integrated control module can reset while the vehicle's being driven, causing a loss of power. No crashes or injuries have been reported.
Honda dealers will reprogram the software on the cars free of charge to owners. Time on the roundup, 7 minutes past the hour.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-924-7415. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415. 800-924-7415.
Chicago police say they have arrested a person of interest after a man set a woman on fire on a train last night.
Police say the 26-year-old woman was on a CTA Blue Line train in Chicago's Loop when she got into an argument with the man. He poured a liquid on her, set her on fire, and jumped off the train when it came to a stop.
The arson just occurred, Blue Line, Clark and Lake and the Blue Line. The female was just set on fire on the CTA train.
Christopher Flores saw the woman run off the train in flames.
And I go running over to see what's going on. She's already out on the ground just crying, burnt to a crisp.
The woman is hospitalized in critical condition. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
A prisoner in Australia is challenging the state of Victoria's ban on Vegemite in prisons. Andre McKechnie has taken his case to the state Supreme Court, arguing that the ban on the yeast spread breaches his right to enjoy his culture as an Australian. That's the World News Roundup, late edition for Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. I'm Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Have you been told there is nothing that can be done for your neuropathy? Tri-State Neuropathy Centers is pleased to tell you that's not true. As one of the largest and most successful neuropathy treatment practices in the country, Tri-State Neuropathy Centers has grown to 9 regional centers and helped over 14,000 patients, like John from Morgantown. John had such extreme numbness and pain that he was having difficulty feeling his car pedals. Then John discovered Tri-State Neuropathy Centers and their effective FDA-approved treatment program that has no drugs, is non-invasive and painless. John's great results have given his freedom back, and he's doing the things he wants, like simply driving or cutting the grass. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers help John, along with thousands of others. Let them help you next. Call 304-777-2068. That's 304-777-2068. Tri-State Neuropathy Centers, the leader in treating peripheral neuropathy.
As loved ones age, it's important to make sure that they're getting the care and attention that they need. Hillside Manor Personal Care Home aims to make your loved ones as comfortable as possible while still receiving superior care. 4 specialized levels of care and the services of an on-site certified registered nurse practitioner means that care is personalized on an individual level. At the same time, residents can enjoy a hospitable environment. Themed after a small town, the interior of Hillside Manor features a 50s-style diner, movie theater, and common areas. High-priority safety and security measures ensure the safety and protection of all residents and staff members 24 hours a day, and friends and family are encouraged to make frequent visits. If you're looking for a clean, friendly, and safe place for your loved ones, look no further. Hillside Manor Personal Care Home is ready to meet your needs. Call 724-439-2273 for more information. They look forward to meeting you.
At this season of gratitude, heartfelt thanks go out to every customer and community member for once again voting Economy Furnace the best in Fayette 3 years in a row. This recognition is more than an award. It reflects the trust, loyalty, and support shown by those who continue to choose and recommend Economy Furnace. Each service call, installation, and conversation has built lasting relationships that make our community stronger. Economy is proud to partner with Amana, also known for excellence, and Economy is also excited to offer 0% financing and other low financing options. The dedication to providing reliable comfort and quality workmanship is inspired by the confidence placed in Economy Furnace year after year. This Thanksgiving, appreciation extends to everyone that has made this achievement possible. The Economy Furnace teams wishes each of you a blessed time of Thanksgiving. We are certainly thankful for you.
For economy, price, and quality service, call
Economy Furnace.
Hi, everybody. This is Matt Sapienza, WMBS's Morning Man, here to remind you of the letters for this week's Name It and Claim It Scrambled Word Game. For the fourth week in a row, we have 8 letters in this week's contest. 8. So let's see if you can unscramble these into a proper word. Listen up, listen close, listen carefully. E as in eggs. S as in sandwich. T as in tray. F as in fry. R as in roll. A as in a la mode, H as in hamburger, and E as in eclair. Those letters make up one word. You must use all the letters in your answer. No proper names, please. You want to get in on this week's contest? Well, I'm sure you do, so here's what you got to do to enter. Just send in your answer along with your name, address, and phone number to Name It and Claim It, WMBS Radio, 44 South Mount Vernon Avenue, Uniontown, Pennsylvania, 15401. Or if you really feel like it, you can drop your answer off personally here at the WMBS Broadcast House at that very same address. Either way, make sure your card gets in no later than 4 o'clock this Thursday afternoon, November 20th. Our prize this week is a set of 4 tickets to the Pittsburgh Zoo and Aquarium. These tickets are good up until next March. So act now. Get a whole day out for you and 3 of your friends or family members on us at the Pittsburgh Zoo. Enter as many times as you like. No purchase is necessary because it's all from us, your local station, WMBS Uniontown, the home of the Name It and Claim It Scrambled Word Game. Get in on this contest. Best of luck.
Join the Case Foundation on November 28th at the Uniontown Country Club for a night of glamour as they celebrate a night at the Oscars with all proceeds benefiting area youth sports. Tickets for the formal adult prom are $70 for single tickets or $125 for couples. The gala will feature a live DJ, 50-50 raffle, red carpet with a professional photographer, and more. Get your tickets today by calling 724-434-9061. Don't miss this fun night and opportunity to support local youth sports.
I'm Aaron Zolbrod, owner and founder of the health insurance store in Connellsville, and I have an important message for those on Medicare. Premiums for Part B, Advantage plans, and supplements are all increasing for 2026. In addition, many people will be faced with higher medical copays and $600 to $1,400 in additional out-of-pocket medication costs next year. Don't panic. You have options, and the health insurance store can compare every competitive Advantage plan and supplement side by side, ensuring that you get the coverage you need at a price you can afford. Since 2008, over 20,000 people have put their trust in the health insurance store to help them navigate the Medicare maze. With all the current and future changes, higher premiums, and out-of-pocket costs, never has it been more important to have an experienced and caring agency looking out and advocating for you. For a no-cost consultation, call the health insurance store at 724-603-3403, 603-3403, or visit us online, www.getyourbestplan.com, getyourbestplan.com.
I'm embarrassed to say, did we mention Paul Skeens winning the Cy Young last week?
I'm sure we did. We certainly did on the station and news and on other talk shows, but I don't know if you mentioned it, Doug.
Unanimous vote, I understand.
Unanimous, that's right. Amazing.
Not bad for a guy with 12 wins.
10.
10 wins.
He was 10 and 10.
No, it happened a couple years ago. Somebody won with like 11 or 12 wins.
Yeah, Jacob deGrom maybe.
That's
but
it.
yeah, Paul Skeens wins the National League Cy Young. Well-deserving. Could have won it. Should have won it maybe last year. Rookie of the Year, year 1. Cy Young in year 2. Where can you go from there?
MVP.
Maybe a playoff game. MVP. Hard for pitchers to win that, but
they don't
it
win
happens.
that too often. You have to get about 25 wins.
Yes, which it's not going to
12
happen.
12 complete games, shutouts or something.
But I'm sure the Pirates are ready to get him a nice new offense and a nice bullpen, and I'm just kidding.
You know, you can go crazy. Oh, what's the point? He's going to be gone in a few years. Well, enjoy it while it's here.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, it'd be nice to build around him and maybe get him a chance to play in the playoffs in the World Series. But, you know, it's hard for small market teams to win, Doug. That's what we always hear.
It is. It's exciting to watch him, man. Holy cow.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, it's...
he's as advertised. I mean, he's lived up to the hype and then some.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's been very lucky. Mario Lemieux was like the greatest thing since
sliced bread.
Well, I was going to say since Wayne Gretzky, and frankly, I think he was better than Gretzky. He just unfortunately had health issues over the years, including cancer, for crying out loud. And Sid, of course, lived up to the hype.
He did.
It just amazing stuff when you think about.
Yeah.
Have the Steelers had anybody who ever dominated that much? I mean, it's a little different in football.
It is different, but they've had some great guys over the years. Obviously, Ben Roethlisberger is one of the best quarterbacks of my lifetime. Palomalu, Harrison, Ward and Bettis.
Yeah, I mean-
Faneca is considered one of the best guards ever, just in my lifetime. I mean, obviously going back to the 70s.
I mean, Roethlisberger didn't live up to the hype because it wasn't hype for him.
It really wasn't. He was a first-round pick, but not expected to do what he did.
No, he was picked as a backup to
Tommy Maddox.
Tommy Maddox, Tommy Football, back in the day, and Tommy got hurt and he took over, and that was it. Who would have thought? But that Cleveland passed him up, even though he was from Miami of Ohio.
That's right. Ohio State did not want him, so he went to Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
And famously, famously, the last night that he played in the postgame, Stan Savran said it's been a good run, and I'm glad to now not be the most famous Miami of Ohio graduate from Pittsburgh, because Ben's overtaken me. So yeah, Stan Savran went there, but yeah, he had a great career, Ben, obviously.
Yeah, the late great Stan Savran, who was always true to his home teams.
Cleveland.
Yeah,
he was a ball boy for the Indians.
Yeah, he was an Indians fan. Never talked about the Browns much. That doesn't work well in Pittsburgh. But he was an Indians fan.
Sure.
And made that clear.
But hey, it came to Pittsburgh. I'm sure they offered him more money than he was getting at home.
His first day on the air in Pittsburgh, and he went through multiple stations in Pittsburgh, was the day after the Steelers won their first Super Bowl.
It's a pretty good start. No shortage of topics that day.
Pretty nervous start,
Yeah.
too. What a day to start.
Yeah, that's amazing. He didn't start in the middle of the summer when there's
No.
nothing going on.
That was his first day. He used to have called Ask Wednesdays, when you could ask him any question. I called in and I said, how many stations have you worked for in Pittsburgh? And he went through them all.
Wow.
And he was at a bunch of them. And
That's
there's an
radio,
example,
yeah.
when he passed away, they didn't replace him.
No.
And that's a shame. He was one of my favorite sports guys to listen to.
He was great.
Are we allowed to talk about other radio stations?
Absolutely.
He was a very pleasant guy. I bumped into him a few times at events, and he was just a general, down-to-earth, normal guy.
Oh, yeah.
His famous line was, Stan, love the show.
Yeah,
And-
standing guy when he did it with Guy
Standing
Junker.
guy, yeah, love the show. I remember screaming that outside a window once. He was at an Eaton Park parking lot, and I yelled, "Stan loves the show, love the show," and he'd say, "Hey, thanks."
Wow, that's great. Great guy.
As opposed to, "How dare you
look at me?
Yeah, look at me,
Look at
yeah.
my good side."
Making eye
It's like a
contact.
Barbara Streisand comment.
Yeah, that's right.
Only look at Barbara's good side. Yeah. Does she have one? No. Anyway,
that was the famous story. Barbara Streisand would not allow people to make eye contact with her backstage at shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, get over yourself.
a true B word, if we all know what I mean.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, great singer
incredible
though.
talent and funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite comedies is What's
Funny
Up, Doc?
Girl or What's Up Doc with
What's Up,
Ryan O'Neal.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh. It's one of those shows, movies I try to get my daughters to watch, and they thought, another dad movie, and they loved it. And
Yeah, it's great.
I showed it to their friends. It just
Holds up from
good
the 70s.
slapstick, silly comedy.
Yeah.
And that's you need more of that. I believe. I've never been a fan of the superhero movies. It just
No.
doesn't do anything for me.
They're
at
for
all.
children, really, but now adults like childish things.
Well, they're rated R in many places.
Well, there's that,
Many
yeah.
cases rather.
Robots punching each other. It's not really great cinematic achievement in my book.
Life's tough enough. I like comedies.
Yeah.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
That's a good one. That's a Thanksgiving one. You
Oh,
can watch that coming
that's-
up.
yeah, that's
John
right.
Candy and Steve Martin.
Yeah, and Steve Martin was the straight guy, which was
He was.
very unique for his career. He's still
Brilliant.
kicking, man. It seems like I think my brother. We were watching something the other day, and he's doing a commercial with his good buddy
Martin Short.
Martin Short, thank you. And
Another funny guy.
He just seems like he's going through life having fun.
Yeah. They're in shows together. They still do a touring show, and they're in Only Murders in the Building. I've seen some episodes of that. Yeah, I mean, you would think with their level of fame and fortune, they would stop, but they love working.
Yeah, and Steve Martin is still to this day is considered one of the great great banjo players.
Yeah.
Did a show with his group. He has. I saw him at Heinz Hall. You know, he's not making a lot of money doing that.
No. He was at Heinz Hall, really? Recently?
Within the last 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I would have loved to have seen
with
that.
This group, you know.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, he just seems to be having and Martin Short apparently
great.
is
I love
dating
Martin Short.
The actress that Trump said was a terrible actress.
Oh God, Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep.
He is?
That's what
How did I miss that?
I saw that in People magazine. I
Oh
don't
my
know.
God.
You know, I get
People
these-
magazine, my favorite. My subscription must have lapsed.
I get all my updates from People magazine.
I'll expire like a magazine subscription. Another
There
Carlin
still
line.
are magazines out
Oh,
there.
absolutely.
I was at
Paper ones,
I was
yeah.
at a Barnes and Noble bookstore, and my gosh, there must be 5,000 magazines.
There's a lot.
And they say like 70% of magazines are never purchased.
That's another Carlin bit I have to say about this was in the 90s.
Okay.
He was talking about giving homeless people their own magazine. Every group that arrives and makes it at a certain level in this country has their own magazine. Working Mother magazine, Black Entrepreneur magazine, Hispanic Business magazine, Walking. There's actually a magazine called Walking. Look, Dan, the new Walking is out. Here's a great article, putting one foot in front of the other. Give the homeless their own magazine. Make them feel better. I could do the whole thing.
I don't think I don't think Walking exists anymore.
No, I think it was mostly for middle-aged housewives.
There are about 19 different, not quite, I'll say 12 different magazines about model railroading.
Yes, I'm sure you like them all.
And there was one about garden railroading.
Oh, my
and
God.
A buddy of mine I bowl with has a garden railroad. He has a railroad outside his house.
Hey.
That's handles the weather.
People love their hobbies. There was a gentleman on last night during the airport coverage, and they described this man as an elevator enthusiast. And he was like taking pictures of different elevators, and he was at the airport elevator, and he said, I want to be here the week of the new terminal. I said, if there's an elevator enthusiast, I'm not going to be ashamed of my hobbies ever again. God love you, sir.
Yeah, that's a good one. We had a neighbor who collected mine shaft collapse articles. So,
I'm sure he was a hit with the ladies.
It was a woman, actually.
Oh, well,
but
whatever.
it's always good to have something going on in your life.
Hey, you got to have something. Better beats nothing.
But yeah, an elevator enthusiast.
Yeah.
We had a neighbor who's now retired who worked for an elevator company. And he used to say, people they realize, if cars break down or this breaks down, elevators have to work all the time.
That's
Otherwise,
true.
you're not getting to the 50th floor.
That's right.
So an elevator enthusiast.
That's how they describe this man.
There's a National Association of Coaster Enthusiasts. Always come to Kennywood.
The things you put your... Oh, I thought you meant the coasters you put your drinks on. I swear to God, I didn't think of roller
there could have been
coasters.
that one, too.
Because I was thinking of really mundane hobbies.
Yeah,
roller coaster's a normal hobby, I think.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
not that anything you like's normal, as long as you're not bothering anyone.
That would. Yeah.
I really thought you thought the thing you put drinks
Coasters.
on.
Well, why don't we start the first National Association of Coaster Lovers?
I love that.
And it'll be coasters.
So you don't leave a ring on your table.
Ring on your table, and of course Kramer had his
Coffee
Kramer
table
from
book.
Seinfeld have his coffee table book about coffee tables.
Yeah, and the legs came out. It was
Legs
brilliant.
Came out, and at first he said it was going to have a built-in coaster.
Yeah.
But the one that he actually had on Regis and Kathy Lee did not have the built-in coaster.
It did not.
Yeah, but
Oh, boy.
that makes sense. They should have had that built-in coaster on.
Would
It
have
did
been
have
brilliant. It did have legs.
because you could have your own coffee.
That's
table.
funny. I really thought you meant coasters. Like, that you put
Well,
drinks
I
on.
think I might start collecting coasters.
You should. I mean, you're a man of a certain age. You're a dad.
My friend Mike worked with a guy at Franciscan University who had the world's largest collection of Snap-on. What are those things that you put on shirts on your
Cufflinks.
Cufflinks, Snap-on cufflinks.
Wow.
He had the world's largest collection of Snap-on cufflinks.
That's amazing. There are cufflinks with dirt from baseball parks I've seen. Wrigley Field, Fenway. Yeah, that'd be a cool gift. Very expensive, I'm sure.
This coaster idea, though, I think you got an idea. It's not a $1 million idea.
No,
it's like $1.50 idea.
Oh, $1.50, yeah.
But we could start an association. All you need is a Facebook page, and there
That's
you go.
all you need. I mean, hey, we could get on TV, get on Shark Tank. I'm sure Mark Cuban would bite at that.
You thought I meant coasters.
I really did. I swear to God, my mind did not go to roller coasters because I thought that was too grand of a.
Oh yeah,
hobby
that actually
compared
is.
to what we were
I could see
talking
people
about.
going around the world riding every roller coaster they could.
Oh,
find.
absolutely. I mean, what's worse, a coaster enthusiast or an elevator enthusiast?
Yeah, that's.
We'll open up the phone lines.
There used to be I worked in a building downtown that had an elevator operator in it still,
Ooh.
like in the 90s. Because it had the metal, like the screen that you had to pull across.
Yeah.
And he operated it.
The
And at
crank?
one point,
No.
somebody was running from the police and he ran in there and he got in the elevator and the guy shut the door and knew how to make it stick between floors. and that's how they caught the guy.
Wow.
Because the police were joking, well, he went from one jail to another.
Nah.
We got him out of the elevator and took him to jail.
That's amazing.
All because the elevator operator knew what he was doing.
That's an old school job, like bathroom attendant.
What?
Or doorman,
Well,
of
the
course,
doorman.
another
The
Seinfeld
doorman. There's still
reference.
lots of doormen
Oh, in New York, yeah.
But what was the one you said? Oh, bathroom attendant. I remember going to like the nightclubs down at Station Square, and they would have a nightclub attendant or a bathroom attendant in there to like hand you a
mint.
a mint or a paper towel, and then they would have like the awful colognes there that you could spray on yourself.
You'd have to tip them and feel obligated to talk.
Yeah,
just awful.
Yeah. They talked about there were definitely elevator or bathroom attendants.
So how are things going in the third urinal today, Bob? Yeah.
So it's on Seinfeld. Kramer's mother was a bathroom attendant.
She was. That's right.
But they had a special name for her. She's a. What did they call Babs? Was her name?
Babs. Yes. What was she?
Dating
Newman. Absolutely.
My mother's a matron. That's what.
Matron. A matron. That's right.
My mother's a
good
matron.
pull. Yeah, my mother's a matron. Yeah, good recall there. Of course, we remember that, but not important things.
I can't remember to go to the news at the right time.
That's right.
To take station breaks.
Your daughter's name, where you live.
Oh, good luck with
what day it is.
Good luck with the daughter's names.
Yeah.
I called my daughter recently the name of our late dog.
I was going to say, did you call him by the dog names?
Yeah,
that's
Charlie.
That's really when you have to go see someone.
My dad always called my
Charlie wasn't even a girl dog, or was it?
No, it was a boy.
Oh,
it was a
God.
Shih Tzu. It wasn't very masculine. I finally got something male in the house, and it was a Shih Tzu.
A Shih Tzu.
Charlie moved on to that great dog house in the sky.
Oh, I'm sure he's running around.
He was a good dog. Now there's a new dog in the household. Not mine, but I'm sure I'll be watching it once in a while.
Oh, of course.
That's a dog now.
Oh.
Named Rigby for Eleanor Rigby.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Anytime you can name the dog after a Beatles song.
Beatles song.
Penny Lane.
The girls wanted to name it after a pizza shop in Latrobe. What is that famous pizza shop? Delicious Pizza, not far from St. Vincent's College. It's called, I can't think of it.
Well, if they buy ads with us, then we can say their
Then we'll
name on the
mention
air.
name. Yeah, but so that little dog's Rigby.
I think it's Papa John's you're thinking of
Yeah,
now. It's not a
Papa
national
John's.
chain. Domino's.
Yeah,
I'm going to McDonald's. Let's go to Sal. Sal's blows. I want a neighborhood joint. Domino's.
We're talking. Of course, going back to another TV reference, that's King of Queens.
Yes, Jerry Stiller.
Which is a good show.
He had
I
a
like
bigger
that show.
part on that show than he
Yeah,
did in Seinfeld.
No,
and
he
it was
did.
funny
But
as,
it was
you know
basically the
what.
same character.
It
almost.
was.
Just yelled and screamed a lot.
Oh,
and,
so funny.
I really think it never would have happened because Seinfeld cast weren't the type to have a spinoff.
No.
But I think George and his parents could have had a show.
They could have. And they've offered Jerry money to do a spinoff or a movie. He said no. But I think, George and his parents could have. Absolutely.
There's another guy just having fun in life. He's
Jason Alexander. You met him?
Yeah, I did. I met him outside. It was fun. The woman, he took questions from the audience, and a woman in the front row said how much her husband looked like him. And guy stood up and he looked just like Art Garfunkel. Looks nothing like George Costanza.
All right.
And like the audience was sort of smirking, and George said, "Oh, okay, I guess so." So
Yeah.
afterwards, as I'm meeting him outside the stage door, just by fluke, we went out for drinks, came back, there he was.
Wow.
And I said, I look more like you than the guy in the first row. And he said, yeah, you do.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
sure I've told that story before. I repeat a lot of my stories. I was walking through Market Square in downtown Pittsburgh, and a homeless person came up to me and said, hey, you look like that guy in Seinfeld.
Wow. How's this homeless guy watching TV?
Yeah, how's he watching TV?
Wow,
right.
that's funny.
But he thought I looked like, of all the guys walking through downtown Pittsburgh in a suit and tie, bald,
Yes.
he picked out me.
He picked you out. And Marissa Tomei has a crush on you. She likes short, stocky, bald men. No. Anyway.
Exactly.
40 minutes or 40 minutes, God, can you imagine? 40 seconds till the news break.
Hey, not 40 minutes, 40 seconds. And then we're going to check in with our friend Loman Henry. You hear him all the time here on WMBS on both, of course, the Lincoln Radio Journal and American Radio Journal. In fact, Radio Journal played right before this show today. I think it aired
It did.
at 4:15. So we're going to talk to him about the latest in Harrisburg. He was at one point a jury commissioner in Westmoreland County.
Wow.
Loman and I, for a short time, were roommates.
Is that right?
Yeah, back in the day up in Harrisburg. I forget what part of Harrisburg, but we were roommates at one point. We were both staffers. I forget who I worked for at the time. I've gone through a lot over the years. CBS News is next. We were going to do Radio PA. Well, maybe we'll get to that after the Loman Henry interview. But first, let's head to Manhattan for the news brief.
CBS News Brief. The House and Senate have approved a bill forcing the Justice Department to hand over the Epstein files. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer.
Without objection, so ordered.
The Senate has now passed the Epstein bill as soon as it comes over from the House.
The Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia was welcomed to the White House by President Trump. U.S. intelligence says Mohammed bin Salman likely ordered the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. His widow, Hanan El-Attar Khashoggi, spoke with CBS News.
I did not receive an official apology myself as a wife. They destroyed my life, they taken my lover, and they killed me with my husband.
The NTSB said today a loose wire caused a cargo ship to lose power and steering. It crashed into the Key Bridge in Baltimore, killing 6 construction workers. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy.
I like to say it's like a needle in a haystack. It is so hard to find.
CBS News Brief. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Live Casino is celebrating its 5-year anniversary by giving away $50,000 in prizes. Get in on the fun November 17th through 23rd. Play with your Live Rewards card for a chance to win your share of $50,000 in prizes. Plus, enjoy $5 specials all week long, like our $5 social margaritas, $5 nachos, $5 pretzels, and more. Celebrate 5 at Live. Live Casino, Route 30 at Westmoreland Mall. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Join the Case Foundation on November 28th at the Uniontown Country Club for a night of glamour as they celebrate a night at the Oscars with all proceeds benefiting area youth sports. Tickets for the formal adult prom are $70 for single tickets or $125 for couples. The gala will feature a live DJ, 50-50 raffle, red carpet with a professional photographer, and more. Get your tickets today by calling 724-434-9061. Don't miss this fun night and opportunity to support local youth sports.
For professional cleaning services, Clean and Shine in New Stanton is the place for you. They provide commercial and residential cleaning, porter services, carpet cleaning, stripping and waxing, construction cleanups, and car cleaning. For free estimates, call 724-691-0413, email info@cleanandshine14.org, or visit their website, cleanandshine14.org. We clean so you can shine.
Businesses come in all shapes and sizes. Integrity doesn't. For more than a century, the Better Business Bureau has set the standards for how businesses should operate honestly and ethically. So when you're looking for a business you can trust, check to see who's BBB accredited and who isn't. Always choose the better business. Look for the BBB seal because it's looking out for you. That's why it's the sign of a better business. And find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
WMBS.
That's a Rolling Stone. Bring us out of the break. Our next guest is on WMBS so often, we should really invite him to the Christmas party every year, the staff Christmas party. I think we should.
Yeah, you can bring the, the shrimp.
Yeah, we'll let him do that. And joining us right now on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line, the chairman of the Lincoln Institute of Public Opinion Research, Lohman Henry. Lohman, thanks for joining us today. You were just on prior to the show today, American Radio Journal, aired here on WMBS. So we thought we'd have a little gap in time before you have you back. You know, we have Lincoln Radio Journal, American Radio Journal. Amazing how many stations those shows are on. In Pennsylvania, every nook and cranny of the state, and American Radio Journal's in how many states now?
Well, we're in all but I think we have 3 or 4. We haven't been able to find an affiliate in Delaware and Rhode Island, and I think one other one. It might be Idaho. But there's like 2 stations in Delaware, so that's part of the problem.
and Pittsburgh stations can probably be picked up in Delaware. Our stations could probably be picked up in Delaware. But yeah, that is amazing, the reach that has all across the country. And I get a kick out of when you say from Wilkes-Barre to Pittsburgh, from Uniontown to Erie. And you always pick out these outrageous named towns, too, when you're doing nationally. Around Christmas time, I'm sure there's a radio station in like Santa Claus, Montana, or Snowflake, Colorado, or something.
That's a great idea. Maybe we can get an affiliate at the North Pole. That would
not bad.
That would be good.
You do have a station in Alaska. I know that.
We do, indeed. We have stations in Alaska, so maybe we are heard at the North Pole. Who knows?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, that's for sure. But we appreciate you joining us. Haven't talked to you in a while. Although you're heard, like I mentioned, you're heard all the time here on the radio. on WMBS. The latest out of Harrisburg, wanted to talk to you about that. The Shap administration, listen to me, the Shapiro administration. Although very few people know, Milton Shap's real name was Shapiro. People don't realize that. He shortened his name.
True.
Good heavens, the Shap administration shows my age. But the budget debacle, and I think that's really the only way to describe it. And they finally did pass a budget, but the state can't borrow money like the feds can. But it's clear the state is spending a lot more money than they're bringing in, aren't they?
Well, they certainly are. And there were, I will say this, Republicans did get some very important policy matters out of this budget deal, most notably getting us out of the regional greenhouse gas initiative. That's going to have an enormous impact. We've had investment in the energy sector literally sitting on the sidelines for the last 4 or 5 years as this RGGI monstrosity was being litigated. And to have it gone, Doug, it's going to really ignite investment in Pennsylvania, which will create natural growth in tax revenue. But you're correct. The downside is we had about a $2 to $3 billion structural budget deficit going into this year. As a result of what they've done, that's now in excess of $5 billion. Now, they were able to dig through the couch cushions and come up with enough money to cover the difference between spending and revenue for this year, but that's going to be gone. So the question is, we're going to be $5 billion or more, because spending always goes up, $5 billion or more short next year, and even more the year after. So at some point, this is all going to come crashing down.
Yeah, the Shapiro administration's original budget it called for another almost $2 billion additional in spending, and they wanted to use money from the Rainy Day Fund, which clearly is not what the Rainy Day Fund is for. Heck, they didn't even tap into it during pandemic. And I know that the Commonwealth Foundation, who's a regular guest on Lincoln Radio Journal, was ready to sue and say, you can't take money from the Rainy Day Fund. That's in case of some horrific disaster or a severe drop in the economy. As I mentioned, they didn't even use it during pandemic. Obviously you're not their spokesman, but how did they think they could break the law by using that as part of their budget proposal? It really made no sense.
Well, when it comes to spending, laws and rules and regulations are routinely ignored by Democrats and the left. And they felt that we have this big nest egg here in the Rainy Day Fund. And to their point of view, because keeping in mind, Doug, the Democrat Party in Pennsylvania and the members of the General Assembly who are Democrat are now largely limited to heavily Democrat urban areas. I think Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Scranton, York, areas like that. There aren't a whole lot of them anymore who represent suburban areas outside of the southeastern part of the state. Virtually none at all in rural areas. So, their constituencies are ones that are dependent upon government spending. So there's the inherent conflict that's going to occur every year. The Democrats are going to want to spend more and more and more and more, and Republicans are sitting back and saying, well, we can't spend more than what we bring in, which to you and I think is sort of logical in our household. If we continue to spend massive amounts more than what we bring in, it's not going to be very long before we're in deep trouble. And the same can be said for the state. So, next year, they're almost going to have to delve into the Rainy Day Fund because they really raided every spare nook and cranny for money this year, and that only takes you so far. So, and you can be assured that next February, Governor Shapiro is going to propose massive additional spending. So the question becomes, how do you pay for it? And he's going to want that spending to occur next year because he's up for re-election.
Yeah, exactly. His original budget, too, was so puzzling that he had proposals in previous budgets that would have legalized recreational marijuana and the tax money coming in from that. And this time around, he proposed that the tax coming in from that was going to be even higher than before, much higher, which made no sense. Imagine how long it's going to take to get a recreational marijuana industry up and running in Pennsylvania. It's not like those taxes are going to start showing up on July 1st at the beginning of the fiscal year. And the same goes for games of chance. No, I guess I have the wrong word there.
Skill games.
Skill games. Thank you.
Yeah, it depends on your skill, Doug.
Yeah, of which I have none when it comes to those, and
Yes.
that's why I don't do those things, play those games. But and he proposed the amount of taxes that were going to come in from that from day one, which makes no sense. You can't just get that up and running overnight. So, the whole budget proposal, and we joked about it at the time, it was the longest budget presentation I'd ever listened to. An hour and a half long, I think it was that day. I guess we better get ready for that one again coming up in at the beginning of the next year. Go ahead. You were going to jump in.
Yeah, and see, that was part of the problem with the spending that he was proposing. He was including revenue from the two sources you mentioned that don't exist.
Right. From day one.
So you can't count revenue from non-existent sources, and he was trying to do that. And, of course, when it comes to legalizing recreational marijuana, given the current makeup of the General Assembly, the Republicans in control of the Senate, that's not likely to happen at any time in the near future. And the whole issue of whether or how much to tax skill games has divided both the Republican and the Democrat caucuses in the legislature amongst themselves. So there's nowhere near any agreement on, do we tax skill games? Do we tax them at the same rate as we tax the casinos? There was even a proposal to tax them at 50%. And that, of course, drew pushback from nonprofits like your VFWs and American Legions and others who receive revenue from those games. So there has been no movement toward any sort of an agreement or resolution on that. So it's not likely to be revenue available next year either.
Right. And of course, next year is the gubernatorial race. The governor will be up for re-election. And, of course, his speeches that will have a lot more to do with running for president 2 years after that, because there's no doubt that he's going to attempt to run for president of the United States up in 2028. As we talk with Loman Henry from the Lincoln Institute, hear both of those shows, American Radio and Lincoln Radio Show, both of them here on WMBS. You talked at the beginning of this interview about Reggie. The governor's had different positions on Reggie. He was opposed to it, then he favored it, and he was opposed to it. But Pennsylvania is in such a unique role. I think, am I correct in this, that we export more electricity to neighboring states than any other state in the country when it comes to electricity? Other states, Texas, Louisiana, Wyoming, are exporters too. But the amount of electricity that we create here in Pennsylvania will increase even more now that we're not strangled by these Reggie requirements.
Well, that's the hope and the goal here. What we've had happen is a virtual standstill in drilling new natural gas wells and the building of pipelines and other facilities to transport natural gas. Those things all that money is now going to come off of the sidelines. And Doug, it's none too soon, because we have a very real opportunity here in Pennsylvania to be the site of numerous data centers. And Senator Dave McCormick last summer had an Energy and Innovation Summit, some $90 billion in investment that the biggest firms in the world were planning to bring to Pennsylvania. But it's only going to work if we have the energy for them.
Right.
So getting rid of Reggie removes the handcuffs. It's going to allow us to develop our energy sector, which will allow us to attract these data centers and the jobs they bring. And just as important, and you saw the Republicans in the Senate had a news conference in Harrisburg today. You had members of the building trades who were part of that celebrating the removal of Reggie, because now they're going to be good, family-sustaining building trades jobs in terms of building these facilities, building new natural gas-powered power plants, people who will be maintaining those facilities over the years. So it's going to create an economic boom just getting rid of Reggie.
Yeah.
So, the fact that the Republicans had to swallow the big increase in spending, it would have been better to not do that, but at least this year we got something tangible as part of it.
Right. We hear about Reggie a lot. I just got an email at radiosaltzman@gmail.com saying, I've heard of Reggie. What is it? Of course, it's the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative, the first mandatory cap-and-trade program ever in the U.S. And, of course, one of your guests on your show recently mentioned that we're the only Pennsylvania's energy costs are less than all the other states that are part of Reggie. And the idea is, of course, is the idea behind Reggie was to allegedly lower prices for energy. Far from it. Yeah, it's like the Affordable Care Act or the Inflation Reduction Act. So much for the name. Doesn't exactly kick in well on those. When you think about what Pennsylvania do, and 20 years ago, if somebody had said, we're going to have to reopen 3 Mile Island because we have the energy needs, people would have thought you should have been put in a home for thinking something like that. But now, clearly, it's going to be reopened. Pennsylvania needs the energy, despite how much energy we already create. And that's another an industry that has struggled so much over the years following the 3 Mile Island problem of 1979.
Well, nuclear power plants, having 3 Mile Island reopen and reopening with private investment, which I think is key, Doug. And there's already it's part of a package deal to provide electricity to a data center. So it's a smart move there because the new energy from TMI will power the data center, so that won't create excessive demand that would raise prices for everybody else. But the other thing is what we're starting to see are the development of these sort of mini nuclear power plants that can be brought online more quickly. They don't generate as much power, but they generate power. And the siting and operation of them could be the future of nuclear power. So in Pennsylvania, we really do need an all of the above. We have to continue developing our natural gas resources because we're sitting atop more of that than Saudi Arabia has. We need to be investing in gas-powered power plants, nuclear power, and hopefully also, when it comes to these so-called renewables, I think it's humorous that the Greens keep saying, well, the way we're going to have cheaper energy is through green energy. Well, the only reason green energy is even remotely affordable is because it's heavily subsidized by government revenue. So you might not pay for it as a consumer, but you're paying for it as a taxpayer. So we're not there yet with renewables, but that doesn't mean that we should not continue to work on developing renewables that will be affordable and efficient.
Right. You can't keep using other people's money, as Margaret Thatcher once said. Sooner or later, you run out of other people's money. The recent election did not go well for the Republicans. Chris Nicholas is a guest on this show. He's been a guest on your radio shows at Lincoln Radio Journal, especially. And he had a great line, said, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield. Last year, the Democrats were the bug. This year, the Republicans were the bug. A strong effort was made to unseat, I guess is one way to put it, not retain 3 Democrat Supreme Court justices, which has only been done a couple of times, once in our lifetimes, I think.
Only once.
Yeah, and was it an effort that was just too much to try for in a situation like that, or do you have to try anyways, I guess? Unseating,
well,
it's so tough.
I suppose you had to somewhat try anyway, but what you just said, only one time since we've had the current state constitution, which was 1967, 68, only one time under a very extraordinary set of circumstances did a Supreme Court justice lose. The chances that any of them were going to not be retained were almost zero. And I keep telling people, and Chris Nicholas, whom you referenced, had a very good point. His point was that the pendulum swings back and forth, and the pendulum is undefeated. Well, if you go back 2 years to 2023, Republicans took it on the chin that year. We lost by a huge margin the state Supreme Court race. We lost our statewide races. We lost local and county races all over the Commonwealth. 2023 was a disaster. Everybody predicted that 2024 would be, it would be a Democrat year again, and instead the opposite happened. So the pendulum swung to the Democrats in 2023, swung back our way heavily in 2024, swung back to the Democrats in 2025. What we'll do next year.
Exactly. It's interesting. I think I'll go all the way back. I heard Newt Gingrich give a speech about a month out from Election Day in 1994. That was the first midterm after Bill Clinton was elected president. And he said, now we're going to pick up some seats. Now, nobody should think that the Republicans are going to take control of the U.S. House. That's not going to happen, but we're going to do pretty good. And they took control of the House. So you never know. This is the future speaker, who I don't think was downplaying it. He was pretty certain. He said, we'll do okay. We're not going to take control, but let's work at it. And so you never know where that pendulum is going to swing. Last comment, question I wanted to ask you, Lohman, if you still have some time. Guy Shiraki from the Commonwealth Foundation, he's been on our show. We've had representatives from the Commonwealth Foundation. He's been on your show. Talked about the problem of local governments in Pennsylvania. And he had a stat I had never heard of before. I knew Pennsylvania had 5,000 local governments, which is hard to believe. Allegheny County alone has 130 municipalities. But and Pennsylvania has 1,000 more local governments than California, which is what? 3 times the size of Pennsylvania. Is that ever going to go away? People love their little fiefdoms. You know, you have the Mon Valley towns finally started doing some joint police and fire protection, but everybody wants to have their own police chief, fire chief, mayor, borough council. How do you address that? I mean, many years ago, they started merging school districts together, and there's still 500 of them in Pennsylvania. It just seems like an insurmountable effort.
Well, it's frankly, it's just not going to happen. I sort of come at this from the point of somebody who served 6 years as chairman of a board of supervisors in a large municipality. And I'll tell you, Doug, we had a lot of intermunicipal agreements. Like you mentioned, now we had our own police department, but there are a lot of police departments that go over multi-municipalities, and townships and boroughs do share things like line painting contracts, snow plowing, road paving, replacement of sewer lines. So local municipal governments do work together with each other. And, if there's a voluntary effort on the part of 2 or more municipalities to merge, and the people who live in those municipalities want to do it, they should. That would be great. But if they don't want to, there should not be a movement from, say, the state government to force mergers, because what you're talking about, people very much identify with their community. If you live in Uniontown, you identify as a person who lives in Uniontown. If you live in Scottsdale, you identify as a person from Scottsdale. It's very much part of people's identity. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of consolidations. What we need is more encouragement to get municipalities to work together.
Right. And as you mentioned, Lot 2, there's a lot of municipal agreements between volunteer fire departments that are going to help out a nearby community. And as you mentioned, even in the North Hills of Pittsburgh, those communities are doing well. They have joint police departments up there just because it makes more sense to do it that way. Yeah, you start forcing municipalities to do stuff, you're just going to have blowback and lawsuits and court cases, you name it. But when you think, I think another stat that Guy Shiraki mentioned during that interview, that both Pennsylvania and Florida have 67 counties each, and there's one school district per county in Florida for the most part. And of course Pennsylvania has 500. We had 501 until about 10 years ago, and 2 school districts merged. But if you do that once every 10 years voluntarily, it's going to take a while to get that to work out. Lohman, we appreciate your joining us today. We enjoy the shows that air right here on WMBS. Thanks for taking time to be with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, Doug, and blessed Thanksgiving to you and all your listeners.
Same to you. Thank you. Lohman Henry joining us on the Afternoon Drive Show on the WVU Medicine Uniontown Hospital Talk Line. I'm Doug. That's Nick. Stick around. We're going to wrap it up coming up.
Oak Pizza in downtown Uniontown is your one-stop shop for the most unique pizzas in the region. From the masterminds behind the Fat Angelo's franchise, Oak Pizza is the laboratory where the Fat Angelo's food scientists test their creations and let you be the judge. With traditional favorites like pepperoni and buffalo chicken pizzas to more experimental offerings like the sesame seed infused